Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, episode 48.2 or some shit, because we had some technical difficulties. Hopefully, this is working this time. And let's see if people are going to start showing up in the chat and see if we are actually live and people can communicate and tell us to go fuck ourselves.
As they like. I'm checking right now. But anyway, last thing I said was that Heenan family. That was neat. And then the last thing I got, I haven't really been picking up too much.
It don't matter what the fuck you said because nobody knows at this point.
Right.
Did we delete the last one? Is that what happened?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just gonna like leave that as like a part one or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I've got play here. I seem to be playing. Freaking YouTube/Google. I want to take over the world. They can't put up effective streams. I don't know how that's going to happen. That's why I'm not worried about the machines taking over.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, all right, well, whatever. Past couple weeks, I got a chance to fuck around with the Mezco Punisher. It wasn't mine to keep. It was actually Al Chang. So shout out to my man Al Chang for letting me do that. But it was very nice to actually mess around with that figure. Not that it was the first Mezco figure that I got to mess around with. I do have the Dark Knight Batman and the Judge Dredd, but it was my first Marvel figure, or well, I guess you can't say comic based because Judge Dredd is comic based, so is Batman. What am I talking about? But yeah, it's a dope figure. Really, really dope figure. And like most people say, you know, usually the pictures don't really do them justice, man. When you get those figures in hand, they're pretty nice. But where they lacking, excuse me, where they lacking is in the ankle pivot department. I was told that the foot articulation was better than what I showed in the video. I wasn't trying to force my man's figure and break somebody else's figure, but I was told that the ankle articulation was better, but still I do know for certain that the pivot could be way better. And I do know that on the Green Arrow figure there's pretty much no pivot.
I don't know what that's about. I'm really thinking that they think they're fixing the stability issue by not adding the ankle pivot. I want to say that, but I don't know. I don't really know what or why they do that or whatever.
View the stream right now.
Say it again.
Looks like nobody's able to view the stream right now.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on?
In the chat here. No
it's all the damn porn you watching, man. Clean that fucking drive.
Yeah, but clear cookies.
Come on, bro, don't expose me.
It's been happening to me a lot today for all videos, says somebody. So maybe it's fucking YouTube.
All right, well then we're just gonna have to keep going. Hopefully it'll work itself out. But at the it's still recording, right? We still.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
yeah.
When we finished it last time, it still did it.
This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Star Wars Black.
What's that?
That was me playing one of your videos by accident. I just wanted to see if anything else was actually working. I'm gonna just respond to the chat here and let them know that we're like still recording. They'll probably just have to fucking wait for the actual recording to upload so they can watch this.
That kind of sucks.
A lot of problems today all over the world. Servers suck today is what somebody's saying in the chat here.
Yeah, hopefully it'll just correct itself. So. But yeah, Punisher. I got to fuck around with Punisher. I opened the Star Wars Black Series Old Man Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not that it was really a new figure. I had it sitting here for weeks since those dropped, and there's been 100 reviews, but I still reviewed it and put it on my channel and shitted on it. So yeah, man, fuck Star Wars Black Series, man. But I will say that robe that came with Obi-Wan Kenobi is perfect for your figure arts figures, though. If you want to do that, then it's definitely a good look. I don't know if unless Figure Arts does something that's cloth, then I don't know if they could even top Black Series. If they try to put one of those like rubber or robes, then it's definitely not going to work, man. What is this? I would like to join your group,
man. I'm so far and done with Star Wars, it ain't fun, so I don't even care.
Yeah, you don't really care about Star Wars as a whole, so. But yeah, but I just can't fuck with the Star Wars Black Series figures, man. They just so whack.
Man, but you know what's crazy? I know we said this before, but it was just crazy how strong it actually started off.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say this. I don't even know if it started out strong. I think it was just the fact that they weren't as fucked up as other figures, and it was the first time you got a 6-inch Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
I like them all, but I don't know. I mean, by the second wave, I kind of was like, yeah, I don't know whatever anyway myself. So I don't know.
What is this shit? Oh, here this guy go.
I mean, we can still see the chat, so if people ask questions for the Q&A, we'll still be able to see it.
All right.
I hit up Emiya and canceled my Han Solo. He's the last one I had on pre-order.
Oh, you canceled it? You should have still kept it.
Yeah.
You should have
For
still
what?
kept it. So you could trade it or sell it later.
I ain't got time for that shit. I don't even want to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. When's he do? When's he do? This month or next month?
He's due this month. It doesn't even fucking look like him, in my opinion. Oh my god! I see the picture of that figure today. I said, shit.
I haven't seen any recent promo images.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an up and down thing with that. I just said, fuck it. I'm not gonna keep it. I mean, I don't even care about keeping it. It'll be all good.
Well, last thing I got, which I actually got for free. I called into a radio show that Randy Falk was doing an interview on a couple weeks ago, and and I'm only using that to segue because I know we'll get to that topic. But they sent me the Ash 3-pack, Ash vs Evil Dead 3-pack with like the 2 creepy.
That shit was rigged.
But it was cool. I just got it for free. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but
Which figure was this?
What's that?
Which figure was this?
It was the Ash vs Evil Dead 3-pack, the one that's like bloody Ash with the 3 like creepy kids or whatever they're called.
Oh, 2 little creepy. Yeah,
I think that's what he calls them in the show. It's like creepy kids.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool.
Really got into those Ash, the Evil Dead movies. I don't think I've seen even one of them all the way through.
TV show for the show. The show was entertaining, man.
Okay.
I didn't like the movies either.
What network is the show on?
It's on Showtime.
Really? Stars. It's on Stars.
Or no, it's on Stars. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
No, but it's on cable, so it's X-rated, R-rated, whatever, right?
Yeah, it's like a premium, like super blood and gore sort of show, but it's pretty campy. It's not very like horror. I would say it's pretty campy.
It's a good show, man. Because I'm telling you this, I did not like the Evil Dead was okay, but I didn't like all that fucking Army of Darkness and all that other stupid shit. I didn't like that shit. That shit was boring. That shit just was not good to me. But but I will say that the guy who played Bruce Campbell is a great personality. So naturally, I mean, his show that when they said Evil Dead show or whatever, I went ahead and watched it, and it's actually pretty good, man. For what it is, like Fabio said, it's just pretty much it's like a horror comedy, man. They do some really stupid shit on there, but I mean, it's
really
bloody and shit. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about getting Ash's like chainsaw hand thrown at him from across the room, and he like dives towards it in slow motion, and then that shit.
What's the main character's real name? The actor?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
So he's actually playing him. He's actually reprised the role, right? It's the same person. Okay.
Man, where have you been? This show's been out for what, 2 seasons now?
I don't know.
3 seasons, ain't it?
First of all, about to start season 3.
First of all, I'm not really like a horror movie buff. Like, I really don't care about the genre of horror movies. Like, I don't really like.
Oh, you suck ass.
I mean, I'm not like. I don't know. I do like a couple of like stupid things that have come out in modern times. I guess like. The Hills Have Eyes and freaking Jeepers Creepers, like just for the silliness of it, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
I mean, like the show then, if that's the case.
I don't know, but it's I don't know. I feel like, I mean, what's the point? You're not gonna really get scared. You're not gonna.
I mean, that's like saying, what's the point of watching a superhero movie? You're not really finna get saved. Like, I mean. I mean, it's just entertainment. It's like let's be honest, man. I mean, of course you're not gonna get scared. You too damn old. If you got scared, I'd be worried about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course. I mean, you're not gonna get scared, but it's just the whole stupidness of it.
Yeah.
You know, especially with kids, like teenagers. Oh my god, those make the best horror movies because they so fucking dumb. Like they just do this dumbest fucking shit.
Well, I
And
mean,
it's
I guess that's
excusable.
kind of a commentary on like the current state of horror movies these days, because horror movies are pretty fucking terrible. The ones that come out these days, it's all literally just editing and jump scares. There's nothing about the movie itself, the premise or the characters or
What's that?
whatever. It's
What's that?
actually scary. It's all just about like jumping at you and spiking the music up really loud to elicit that response. But you're not really getting scared. It's the equivalent of fucking tickling somebody and they're laughing, but they're not laughing because it's funny.
What's that new joint that's about to come out with the black dude as the lead role? What's the name?
Oh, yeah, I don't know what it's called, but you talking about the black guy? They got all them white people out there chase his ass around and all type of shit.
When I saw the preview for that, I was genuinely like interested in that. Like it seemed like a sort of different take on things. It seemed interesting. So I might give that a watch, um, Peppy's not gonna watch anything that's like remotely scary. So especially
Why?
I don't know. Well, you know what? She'll watch some shit with like a lot of blood and gore, but if it's like demons or like dealing with like the devil or Jesus or something like that, it's not happening, yo.
Damn. You watch Rosemary's Baby.
She's not watching that shit.
You know what? Not to even dwell on horror movies, I think those are the weakest ones.
Yeah.
The ones about witches and the ones about fucking ghosts or demons. That shit. Those fucking things are fucking boring. They boring as fuck. All of the Annabelles and all of those fucking paranormal activities and all that shit. That should be weak. Now, that's just not entertaining.
So I'm trying to think, what else did I get this past week? Well, I got the Guardians wave will be in a couple of days. I didn't get it yet, but I see a lot of people started picking that up this past week. Started showing up pretty much.
I was just gonna segue into that actually. It's actually starting to pop up here in Southern California and Walgreens. So the entire SoCal chat that we have going on Facebook has been like, anyone check today? Anyone check today? Any luck? Any luck? Somebody's starting to find it at Target. Some people are starting to find it at Walgreens.
Find it at Target.
Yeah, it's at Target now. Tyler Stark Harl just got it at Target.
I went ahead and got it at Target today. Actually, and it was crazy because I went to Target to get some damn Powerade.
You know what? I wanted to go out today and look, but the weather here was so shitty these past couple of days, and today in particular, it was just really bad. We got hit with like a snowstorm that was supposed to be the biggest storm of the fucking year. It wasn't that crazy, and then these past couple of days, it was just like, well, today it was like sleet, rain, and ice, and like it made for like this slushy, nasty shit outside, like mad, slippery, and dangerous conditions. So.
You had a snowstorm or something last week, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. We had a snowstorm, and then on top of that, today we had this like hail, sleet, and rain shit. I don't know what this was, but the entire ground everywhere was just like slushy, ice, dangerous shit. So I wasn't trying to go out and that hunting nowhere. So, but yeah, the Guardians wave is coming through the shop. So actually, if you haven't gotten a wave or you're not trying to go out and hunt, you can actually just it's a pre-order on the A.C.B.A website right now, but it'll be shipping this week, start shipping this week anyway. So if you don't want to hunt, then you could definitely just go up on the website and cop that.
I think to do that. So I'm not about to go hunting all these fucking Walgreens and Targets around here.
Yeah, so
you should hunt for Walgreens.
You open any of them? Pharaoh, you open any of them yet?
Yeah, I opened all of them.
Oh yeah, what you like?
I like them all, actually. Well, I mean, hold on. I didn't buy the whole wave. Let me clarify that. I don't. I only bought Darkhawk, Nova, Angela, and then that was it. And it was crazy because I was gonna pick up the shit. What the fuck is that dude's name with the Captain America shield? I don't really even know nothing about that dude.
Vance Astro.
Right. Well, I thought I grabbed 250s and I grabbed a 50 and a 20. So I kind of I couldn't buy them when I got there, whatever. But out of the three I opened, Angela's definitely the best one.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I can't believe Todd though. Like, I watched his review and he was lushing over that shit, saying it's the best Marvel Legend of the fucking ever, and like, I know how much he loves fucking Guardians.
Okay, listen. Okay, first of all, what I'm gonna say to Todd is this: if he didn't like Angela when she was a character, a prominent character in Spawn, fuck Todd.
I highly doubt Todd was
Like,
tuning into anything Spawn or reading comics. It
right.
was
So him cooing over her or whatever, I don't even want to hear it.
yeah, I remember when I
Like,
collected
that's
Spawn
like
figures at first. They had a Angela figure back then and shit.
well, that's like him saying Batman's the best character ever if Marvel ever like acquired the rights to him. Like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. But yeah, but it is a really good figure. Um, it's not without its problems, but for a female figure, I think what it really is the hair. Like, it allows you to actually turn the head without it like falling funny and all looking down and all awkward or whatever. So that's a good point on it or whatever. But I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, that's like Kid Nova. He's a nice figure. I mean, it's the same body as the Spider-Man figures, but I'm thinking that the hip articulation is a lot better.
Yeah, I was watching Josh Chaney's review of that figure, and it was better than I expected. I didn't expect too much from it, but
I think Darkhawk might be he looks nice, man, but I mean, one, he doesn't have any type of wings you can take off, whatever. It's pretty much attached on. And then that little claw he has on his right hand is so flimsy and trash. It looks like chicken wire or something. It's just I don't know, but I mean he's still a decent figure. I think this wave was pretty much just garbage in my opinion overall. Because I don't want all the figures. I don't want any Marvel Legend movie figures at all. Not one of them. Not from this Guardians of the Galaxy wave, whatever. I just don't see buying them. So I'm gonna try to buy the other pieces from both arms from somebody who might have extras or they don't want to build Titus or whatever.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna be getting the whole wave. I don't really care for this fucking Titus, honestly. I might just get the comic figures. We'll see though. The movie figures, I do like that they've improved. The Chris Pratt head sculpt from the last release, but yeah, I'm not big on the Guardians in general. Like the movies weren't, the first one wasn't really my favorite. I didn't even get the figures from the first movie. I actually gave those to Kenji. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that people are starting to find them and all that stuff. And Angela is definitely a cool, cool addition. It was the fan vote like 2 years ago or something. So it's about time we get her. And she's a pretty cool character. I don't know shit about her, in the comics. I know she came from Spawn, but I play this PC game called Marvel Heroes. It's basically like Diablo, but you play as Marvel Heroes. Angela was the second to last newest character, and she is fucking good. She is one of the best characters in the game by far. So just like playing through that, I kind of like the character, but I can't say I'm all that familiar with her. I know she's supposed to be, Thor's half sister or something like that. Is how they retconned her.
You know what it is with some of these characters that they've put out in this wave in particular. It's like it's not a lot you can do with them display wise as far as integrating them with other characters. I feel like we need a lot more supporting characters, cosmic characters, basically, to really like do a lot and shit. So like this shot that I got up right here, which is Pharaoh's shot. It's a great standalone figure right here in this display, but like it's unless you got like some scrolls or like it's not a lot of intergalactic shit you could do right this moment. So
I think if I'm not mistaken, Angela's more of a Asgardian character.
well, she was running around with the Guardians a lot over these past couple years. Basically, she was part of that team. So
Okay. Yeah. Well,
honestly, I can't remember the last time that I've seen her in like an Asgardian setting and shit. I don't know. I like if you were like new on the comic books or something like that, and you saw her in Guardians and shit. I don't even know if they even mentioned that about her history or heritage or whatever the case may be. So
I don't know. I know that if they haven't changed her too much, she's still an Angel. That's what I was thinking. I don't know if they took that away. Like I said, I don't. Guardians of the Galaxy, man, it's so far off my radar. as far as Marvel goes, not funny. I watch the movie, but I don't give a shit about that team at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like the movie was good. It's a lot of people argue it's one of the better Marvel movies, and from what I hear, the second one is one of the first to get like such high scores on their early press screenings and all that stuff. Like it's gotten a really good response from what people have seen so far. People have actually seen the movie before it's released. They're saying it's great, but I'm just like I don't have any really like connection with the character. I didn't really know shit about Guardians of the Galaxy like up until the lead up to the first movie. So it's not something I'm really like, I need to have it in my collection. It's one of those things that, legends end up on clearance all the time anyway. They end up, buy one, get one
Angela won't.
Toys R Us all the time. Fucking Doctor Strange is already on clearance, the
Yeah,
last wave. So
but you got to realize, I would say even with that wave though, you can't find an Iron Fist.
The Doctor Strange wave can't really be compared to this Guardians wave, though. The Doctor Strange wave was really fucking terrible, really, overall.
Yeah, it was weak. It was very weak.
Yeah, I think this one will probably do best with, the casual collector, just because a lot of people base their, a lot of people who are just getting into the collecting game are just getting into it because of the movies. So I could see that really flying with them. But like I said, I'm not really in a hurry to get them. I'll get them when I get them.
But you know what? Most of the movie, I would say most of the movie-based waves hit clearance. I said most of the movie-based waves hit clearance. I know Ant-Man wave hit clearance, and so did Doctor Strange. But not so much for the Captain America wave.
That was technically a movie wave, like a accompanied a movie, but it didn't have movie figures.
Yes, it did.
The Captain America waves are under Avengers. That's why.
Which Captain America wave are you talking about? Which Captain America wave are you talking about?
I think almost any Captain America wave is usually listed. It's categorized as Avengers by the companies, by like the retailers, which is why they actually like last longer on the shelf, because Avengers is considered a mainstay brand. It's not just a movie brand. So they always have kind of like a Marvel/Avengers section, kind of like Spider-Man is kind of like, and it's always kind of, they're just like those X-Men figures are also considered Avengers as well. They're not considered X-Men. They're considered Avengers as far as the Target and Walmart systems are confirmed.
I hate to contradict you here, Emiya, but I'm talking about the Captain America Red Skull wave, Red Onslaught wave. That one says Captain America on the front of all the packages.
No. But if you scan it, it'll say Avengers when you scan it in the computer.
It sure does. That's why I think the DPCI numbers never changed on it from the Avengers wave through the Captain America wave. Yeah.
As far as the retailer is concerned, I'm not talking about what it says on the package. Okay. I'm speaking strictly as far as the retailer is concerned. Captain America and Avengers is considered the same line.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what else happened this past couple weeks? We wasn't here we weren't here last week, so we didn't talk about Mayfex's reveal of their Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man, which made a pretty big splash last week. A lot of people were excited about that. A lot of people were like, all right, this is great. It's begun, but I'll wait for SH Figure Arts.
Yeah.
So, I'm not one to jump out the window for Mayfex, first and foremost for that. I think SH Figure Arts is going to make probably the best Spider-Man and Iron Man and have them looking aesthetically great together in 6-inch form.
And we can talk about this after you make this point, but just to keep us on track, and we remember the Spider-Man Legends were also revealed as well, so we should talk about that.
Right. Well, they revealed the movie figures from that wave.
Right,
I mean, I think as far as the import companies go, I'm with you with the whole Mayfex thing. I think, I was just talking to Darius the other day about this. I think that I hate what is it, Medicos?
Yeah.
That makes Mayfex?
Yeah.
Whoever the hell.
Medicom,
whatever. I hate them. I hate Mayfex figures. This is exactly what I told him. I said, when it comes down to something mainstream like Spider-Man or Iron Man, I don't have to buy that bullshit. I can wait for a superior product from Figure Arts. Even if, this is where I'm at with them. Like, I didn't really have a problem with Jared Leto's Joker. I'm probably one of the few, but I didn't have a problem with him. I don't really see Figure Arts making every version of the Joker that showed up in the movie. So across 2 lines, I'm getting maybe 4 versions of the Joker. So I pretty much have to fuck with Mayfex on that character. But any other character that's actually going to be mainstream, and I know that another company's going to tackle them, I'm not fucking with Mayfex. Especially after that Spider-Man 2 fiasco with that figure was horrible. So
Wait, which one was Spider-Man 2?
the one that couldn't stay, that was floppy, flopping all around, and the joints wouldn't stay tight, and then you have
The Andrew Garfield one.
Okay, so that's the most popular bad one, though. Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
I still like that figure, even though it was. I shouldn't like it. I like it because I love Spider-Man, probably. But yeah, it was quality control wise, it was a pretty bad figure.
He couldn't even he couldn't even stretch his arms out fully to the side.
You know,
It's Spider-Man.
Getting the DX version on clearance was still a good deal, though. With all the accessories and all the stuff that came with that one, the wall and all of that stuff, but yeah, they hit it. They hit a miss, man. They hit a miss over there, no question about it.
I'm just not fucking with them though. I'd advise anybody who's listening to the podcast not to fuck with them either, though.
Yo, Emiya, when was did what's the name happen already? The Japanese event before Toy Fair, what's that called?
No, it's happening exactly the same time as Toy Fair.
Oh, okay, wow. So wait, that normally doesn't happen, right? I thought it was normally a week before.
Usually it's a week after. Sometimes it's happened on the same Sunday because Wonderfest is only one day.
Gotcha.
It's on Sunday, so it would be Saturday for us, but Sunday over there. So I unfortunately won't be there because I'll be at Toy Fair. But
right, yeah, I'll see you, I guess.
Yeah, but as far as Medicom, like you said, they're 1/6 figures. The anime stuff, I think they do pretty well. But the 1/12 stuff, the Mayfex stuff, I think that stuff could be definitely has a lot of quality control issues from what I hear. I don't buy any of them, so I don't really know. But just seeing it on the communities and stuff, and I've had that Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield one, and mine was instead of even just floppy, one of the arms would just not stay on.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I could shake my pretty much right now. I mean, I've never really fucked with it that often. I was really disappointed with it once I got it. I didn't like the metallic paint, and I didn't like how uneven the paint was. So when I picked it up, I mean, it was just floppy as hell. I mean, even with like the Batman versus Superman shit, I didn't like the fact that when I got my Superman, he was broken, and then the cape was so unevenly, like really unevenly. Like it would come down to his ankles on one side and only up to his waist on the other. It was just really fucked up. And then they sent me another one which broke at the elbow. The Joker broke at the wrist. I don't know, man. I don't know. For the amount of money you pay for these figures, man, I don't know what they're doing. So I don't know. I'm kind of turned off with that. The last one I ordered was the Joker with the gold machine gun, and I think Deadshot. And after that, I think I'll be done, unless it's something from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something.
No. That's a different company. That's Medicom.
Oh, is it? Great.
Yeah, Medicom. The one we're talking about is Medicom.
Okay.
They're totally different companies.
You always mixing that shit up.
Medicom, shit. They should choose different names.
Just call Medicom is generally labeled as Medicom Toy, so you just call it Medicom Toy to differentiate it instead of Medicos. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm done with ordering that shit.
I don't know what I'm gonna do about.
I have to talk about these legends real quick if you want to move on. Just to keep.
I don't know what I'm gonna do about Deadshot though, since you mentioned that, because I did pre-order that from Mayfex, but then when once I got the Harley from SH Figure Arts, and I saw that they was doing one from Figure Arts too, I was just like, I don't know.
Well, I think the Deadshot has a better likeness from what they shown, but then that might straighten up too, though. You know what I mean? So I end up stuck with two of them or whatever. But I didn't order Harley at all.
Confused. Figure Arts been fucking up too, as far as likeness.
Yeah, well, definitely. They've been fucking up too, but at least the figures are stable, even with their fuck ups.
Right. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, they're Bandai. Bandai is older than all these companies. They usually have a very strict quality control thing. The worst thing could be actually the product itself, not actually the QC. So I mean, although they do have bad QC once in a while with the paint and stuff. So
yeah, I mean they're a company.
Yeah,
That's
as far as
definitely-
likeness goes, I think a lot of it depends on the how well the printing prints onto the face. Sometimes it doesn't print on too well. Sometimes it prints off really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else we were talking about from Legends? The Spider-Man reveals that they showed. I don't think any of us care about any of those figures that they showed as far as Legends go and that movie goes.
I think the coolest thing about seeing them was the new Iron Man suit. I like that they're kind of going with this Ultimates look for it, even though Ultimates isn't exactly,
I'd like to see that figure arts though. I don't give a fuck about
I think that's the first time we've seen that Iron Man suit, so I guess I'm trying to drive the conversation more towards what do we think of this new fucking Iron Man suit?
That's the same suit he wore in Civil War, just different color.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same. It's the same mold that they're using for it. It's just they painted.
You know what's funny?
The movie. I don't know.
I just opened the Civil War Marvel Legends Iron Man for the first time like last week, and I didn't realize that figure is actually not bad. That's one of their better Iron Man figures as far as the size goes and the articulation. It's just still not that great, but the figure is actually right in terms of the size. I think that's like the first time that they really got the size right when Iron Man armor. Well, maybe like second, third time, but yeah, I'd like to see. I'm definitely looking forward to the figure arts version of that new suit, what everybody's calling the Ultimate suit. What was the other figures from that wave that's supposed to be in that wave, though?
Well, there's two Spider-Mans. There's the one from, it looks like he has like wings underneath him. It looks like the same one as the 2-pack one, because that Iron Man's going to be in a 2-pack with basically a reissue of the Civil War Spidey. And then there's a single-pack Spidey in the new suit where he has like the wings underneath his arm. There's the Vulture, and then there's the prototype suit Spidey where it kind of looks like he's wearing the hoodie and the goggles and stuff.
So what's the comic base?
We don't know the comic figures yet. They've only revealed the movie ones, but they've also revealed that the Build-A-Figure is going to be Vulture's flight pack. So it's going to be a pretty big, flight pack for him.
Right.
Whether that's worth it as like a Build-A-Figure, taking a Build-A-Figure spot, I guess that's up to you.
I forgot that.
It looks like we're working now.
Yes, I just saw a message.
Cool.
All right, so we good. So we don't know the comic figures yet. Not even Todd knows, huh?
Not even Todd. They're really keeping it under wraps. A lot of people were wondering what that dead meat character is. It was on the UPC or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were saying that the prototype suit Spidey might be dead meat, but I don't know. Not entirely sure about that.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know.
Maybe it's like a reference to whatever, maybe a line that's said to him when he's wearing that suit.
So we got the Guardians of the Galaxy wave dropping right now. We got some reports of the second wave of the X-Men or the first wave of 2017 dropping somewhere far east, right? So that'll be probably coming up right behind the. I believe the street date for the Guardians of the Galaxy wave was March, right? I think it was March. The release date was March, and the X-Men wave, I believe the release date is April.
So that means we'll be seeing X-Men wave in about 2 to 3 weeks, huh?
Yeah, like I said, it'll be right behind it probably. So get your wallets ready. Get ready to sacrifice your nights, real dinners with ramen. And
I don't know, man. My birthday's Thursday, so I'm finna hit everybody up. Everybody finna buy my shit for me.
Yeah, this week is my most retarded week of the year. So I got not that I'm fucking with Valentine's Day in any way, shape, or form, really though. But Valentine's Day is the 14th, and my girl's birthday is the 15th, and then my daughter's birthday is the 16th. So I'm done.
And your daddy's birthday is 16 too. Don't forget about me.
Shut up, bitch. But yeah, man. So this week is gonna be retarded for me, but I'll bounce back. The next week is tax season. You know how that goes. I don't think I'm gonna buy too much shit though this week. What else? It was something else we was talking about legends wise, right? What else happened? Didn't Rick have a itinerary for us?
No, he didn't. We just kind of had.
You know what? He did. He had a couple of things here. Well, I'm going to say this. I want to talk about the whole NECA debate about the what would you call it? Ethnic figures or lack thereof.
Well, you lead us into that. I'm gonna get some visual aids together.
This guy.
I'm just saying that. I mean, I agree. I was looking at the Twitter account, the A.C.B.A. Twitter account. I was reading some of the things that was being said, and and actually Ty.
Well, let's start from the
Before you
beginning.
say that though, let me just give
Let's
a
start
little
with the
little backstory.
which is
What
what
you
started
say?
this whole thing.
What you say?
I said let's start with let's go back to how this started, and that's
Yeah. Go ahead. That's what I was about to say.
.org page that I believe is Ty. Yeah, Ty put it up. I mean, the general gist of it is I don't want to read the whole thing aloud, but NECA is one of the top manufacturers of pop culture and collectibles, and it's come to the attention of the collecting community that even with the diverse license of like 60 different things from movies, music, video games, etc., there's an apparent deficit of characters of color. He goes on to say that Carl Weathers and Mr. T are not enough. Eddie Murphy ruled the box office in the 1980s. Friday is one of the most popular comedies of the 90s. NWA is a legendary hip hop group formed in the 80s and 90s. And the real thing that started it is that they put out the Weird Al figure from White and Nerdy, which is essentially a white dude parodying a black dude and dressed up like a black dude, which is what called this whole thing into question. It's like, listen, you're gonna have essentially a wigger figure, but you're not gonna have an actual like black person.
Okay.
It's
First of all,
there's a big of a
I
disconnect
do
there.
not like that word. Listen, that wigger bullshit is
Well, I'm not
like
white,
seriously. No, I'm not saying you personally, but that wigger shit. I mean, come on, white. What is that? White nigger? Like, fuck out of here. Like, for real. That shit is.
It's anyone that dresses like Fred Durst, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, stupid. But yeah, that word is just man.
Yeah. I'm with you on the wigger shit, but yeah, okay. So just for anybody in the audience that has no clue, that's what it was. Basically, our social media accounts, we split them up amongst some of the A.C.B.A. admins as far as who runs them, who posts on them, and this and that. And like, for the most part, whatever account you run, you have carte blanche to do what you want. I mean, we do discuss certain things, but we trust each other enough to know that nobody's going to go off the rails and do some off the wall shit or whatever. So, right. So, agree that we would address NECA about this. And this is not coming from a place of get the pitchforks out for Randy because he's on some racist shit or nothing like that. It's not in that vein in any way, shape, or form. As much shit as we've talked about Randy and make jokes and shit like that, I do not think for 1 second that he's on some racist shit. That's not what we say.
Nobody is coming at this saying like, oh, NECA's racist. We need more black dudes in
so it's definitely not that.
Not
it's
that
not
cut
that.
and dry. And
No way, shape, or form. It's just that we felt that NECA is probably one of the companies that could actually this is in the vein of what they do and the type of characters that they make, and somebody that could probably pull this off and make it look good.
I mean,
no way is Marvel Legends going to make Eddie Murphy. It's just it doesn't fit to what they do or any of the other companies for that matter. NECA is right there in that field and could kind of produce figures in that genre basically.
And to add to that, the 1980s and 90s, the era that NECA has really focused their nostalgia factor on. That's when black culture really exploded and took over and became popular culture, with the outset of hip hop music and all that stuff.
Right.
That's a key era in black culture. So it is a little, it's a noticeable absence when you don't have such great franchises. Like personally, my number one pick out of all this that I think would be the best would be Beverly Hills Cop. That would be an amazing one.
That's one of my top three that was in the polo or however you want to call it.
Another of the couple ones mentioned here, just because there's a list here. Movies, we got Bad Boys, Friday, House Party, Boys in the Hood, Juice, New Jack City, Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America, Last Dragon, Cheech and Chong. Although to be fair, they've done Cheech and Chong figures. They're just static. Meteor Man, Blank Man, Television, Fresh Prince, Family Matters, Jeffersons, A Different World. I'm not 100% on those.
Some of those I don't know about.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of a stretch to say like NECA is gonna make some fucking sitcom figures. People have been bugging.
Yeah, no question. But just to have it in the conversation and just as an option is still pretty fun though.
And then as far as music, they've done a Bob Marley figure in the past, but again, it was a static figure. There's all these other options, for huge pop culture icons from their era.
What's another one that I really like too? Was The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's in here.
That would be dope.
Coming to America would be awesome. I would love James Earl Jones.
Coming to America would be hilarious.
Over his
But
shoulder.
Even like you just mentioned about NWA, I think music figures, I don't believe that they will fail. I mean, because it's a lot of people who like music. Even you get a lot of the guys like, oh, I hate rap music. I don't think they will fail with music figures. I mean, how many of those fucking Eddies are they actually selling from Iron Maiden? Yeah,
well,
I don't see those things all the time.
Just because that's like their mascot rather than like band members themselves. So that is a little bit different because that's more like a comic character almost. He only exists really on the covers of the albums.
Yeah, but ain't nobody buying that shit.
Yeah, because it's an iconic mascot. But you could do a similar thing with who has like a mascot. I mean, I'm thinking of heavy metal stuff because I'm a heavy metal guy. But they could easily do the mascot from Megadeth, Vic Copperhead. That's a pretty unique looking figure. He's got like bolted on glasses and his ears are bolted shut. It's a crazy design. So they could do something with that.
I don't know.
I see the difference there, but yeah, I agree. I mean, just music in general is a market that needs to be hit on just a little bit more.
The biggest problem I'm having is this. This is what I mean. It's not even with NECA. It's with once I started reading through the tweets and everything. It's crazy because what I don't like is that if you say, hey, okay, this is great, but can we have more ethnic figures? Out of the woodwork comes these guys who say that, oh man, you guys are just trying to make it a racial thing or this, that, and the others. Like, dude, how am I the bad guy? Because I asked, can we see more? I mean, come on, because I'm asking to see more ethnic figures. Am I really doing something bad by asking that?
I don't think at all. I think it's a very valid argument, and I think it's something that could be considered. And I don't want it to feel like a hostile thing in any way, shape, or form. Though I honestly and truly would not sign off on some shit to just be like attacking the toy company through A.C.B.A. That's not what we here for. It's just really just bringing it up as a talking point and putting it out there. And honestly, if I see Randy next week at Toy Fair, I'll talk to him about it. I'll bring it up and say, but it's definitely not coming from a place of hate or we're not out here waving pitchforks at Randy in any way, shape, or form with this thing, man. We might get on him for making a fucking Weird Al figure, period, but it don't got nothing to do with the race shit with that, with me. You know what I'm saying? It's just it would be fun to see that. It would be fun to see, some people that look like me represented more and everything, everything dealing with pop culture, everything across the board, and it's something that we've talked about many times on this show too. So I was watching something this past week. I don't even know how I got on this. You know how you just randomly see clips and shit, but they were like interviewing like they were interviewing some people in Korea and asking them what are some stereotypes of like black people and like, a lot of people across the world, the only depictions that they have of, people of color or people that don't look like them is whatever they see, on TV and movies and shit. Like we need a wider variety of, the way that people of color are depicted in not just negative light though. Like, I'm saying? It's got to be out there. It's got to be celebrated. It's got to be an opportunity for us to get our faces and our likeness and out there in pop culture, man. Like it's important to me too. So I'm preaching a little bit, but that's what it is. Again, I just don't want it to seem like it's coming from a place of like disdain or something like that. We really just bringing up the talking point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you still got to figure out the method of them going after licenses. It's not so much as because I know a lot of people say, oh well, certain people don't want their license, or don't want to give the license out for their likeness or whatever else. But I still have to ask the question: are you even asking certain people?
Right. That's the point too. We just, are you asking? Word.
I don't know. If anyone tells me that a lot of these, like some of the movies they named, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Let's just say what it is. I know that a lot of white people might not watch some of the movies that we've named or whatever. So, I mean, I don't really know how that actually plays out or how that goes, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that when it comes down to collecting, I'm sure that there are probably more white collectors than any other race. I mean,
Yeah, I
Fun
probably,
I
movie.
mean,
probably agree with that.
Honestly, but yeah,
you said what?
I said I would agree with
games
that.
collecting.
But I mean, people get mad at me for saying, well, I mean, that's just the way I'm thinking. I mean, I know when I go to the stores or if I go to, like comic shops and stuff, when I look around, it might be 3 black guys, an Asian guy, a Hispanic guy, and then you might see like 8 white guys, 9 white guys in there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's just what I'm feeling. But I don't like when someone says it won't sell because they wouldn't buy it.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
As a
When I
person,
say,
them personally went by. Like, yeah, you can't speak for everybody on that shit. Right.
like when I've said things like, who the fuck is going to buy a Weird Al figure? Of course, you're going to always have somebody who's going to buy the Weird Al figure. I'm pretty sure Fabio lays up with a Weird Al figure every night. You know what I mean? I'm sure he has all of them.
Basically.
But I mean, he's a weirdo though. You know what I mean? Like you can't really discount the weirdos, but you're not going to have a bunch of people running to the store and just buying Weird Al. Even and if you want to base it on who likes what, even on I try to play devil's advocate with the whole thing because I'm looking at record sales. I'm like, well, a lot of these African American artists outsold Weird Al 2-1 easy. But then at the same time, if you don't have the strong backing, if African Americans aren't collecting, which means if you bring out NWA and you don't have a strong backbone that's going to go out here and go buy NWA figures, whatever.
You know what? I think with something like that, that would bring people on that don't normally collect just to have that type of figurine. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people from the hip hop community would purchase that just because it might actually get them into collecting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, that Biggie figure. Like, I know mad people that see that figure that don't collect them. It's like, oh man, that's cool. I would love to have that. You know what I'm saying? So something like that, I think would bring people into collecting. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but
right away, it's going to show up on the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah, no question about that.
Right away. So you might be right about that. It might even people that don't actually collect figures say, "Oh, well, I will buy that figure because it's."
Yeah, could you imagine if Randy went on the fucking Breakfast Club promoting one of those a line like that? That shit,
Like an NWA line, yeah, that'd be
that
sick.
shit would blow the fuck up, man. We just.
I mean, it's like the same thing with Fresh Prince.
Right.
Not just Will Smith, but the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was.
Yeah, that would sell. That would do numbers.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Beverly Hills Cop, if they brought that on.
Beverly Hills Cop, I think, is one of the more really reasonable ones, man. Like for real.
I mean, you could pull from all 3 movies for that. It'd be epic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd love a Bridget Nielsen too.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I don't know. It's a lot of things that can be done, man. I know that Aliens and Predators are selling up the ass for him or whatever. And for the weirdest reason, I cannot figure out Aliens. I can because they haven't done the Marine Corps or so I can see where they're going with that.
I mean, it's worth noting that the last set of Marines did include a black dude on that one.
Well, okay, great.
And a Hispanic character played by a white woman, so take that as you will. Okay.
Well, but what I was going for is like the whole thing with the Predators. I don't see why people are still buying those damn things. I can understand, like how many times can you take the figure, add a gauntlet, take away a gauntlet?
I mean, they show a lot of different Predators throughout the movies. I mean, if
but I mean, come on,
like the Lost Tribe. The Lost Tribe is literally the same Predator 1 suit. Well, the Predator 2 suit is the Predator 1 suit. It's the same basic suit, but they just, obviously redesigned it a little bit. And all the Lost Tribe Predators that show up at the end of the movie to, give Danny Glover a revolver, they're all just variations of that same suit. In fact, the Elder suit is the Predator 1 suit. So that's how, that makes sense if you want to talk about, remolding and changing a gauntlet here and there. That's basically what the filmmakers did in the movie to save costs. They just took all the leftover suits, put them on screen at once.
How many Predators showed up in the movie? How many was it 30 Predators in the movie?
In the first one, only 1. In the second, 11. In the AVP,
okay. But now we're at 12. We're at 12 Predators. We're at 12 Predators in the movie. Probably about another 20 of them between the comics and video games.
Probably more than that.
What's the number you think?
Well, you got to remember the comics are still ongoing, so they're still going to be producing new comics. In fact, their Kenner Predators are in the comics right now too, and that's another thing is the Kenner line is just them redoing the old Kenner line. So that
Hold
gets a
on.
little bit of
Okay.
longevity there too.
Well, let me hit it from this angle.
Okay.
My thing is this: at a certain point in time, I don't give a fuck what the story is going, is what they're doing. I don't give a fuck how they're writing this book and illustrating it or whatever else. At a certain point in time, man, I just don't want to keep buying that same damn figure. I don't care how they paint it. I don't care if they paint it with different colors. They can be, they can have a 14-karat gold one. I mean, but at a certain point in time, man, it's just like you're buying this. Just you keep buying the same figure.
And it's the same thing when you buy a Bucky cap like 500 times in the same mold.
It's not that's not the same thing. This is the biggest difference. Now, if Bucky cap comes with, let's say a sculpted, something on it was sculpted, and they kept trying to finagle that damn body into something that doesn't look different, then I see what you're saying. But my Hawkeye doesn't look like my Bucky cap except for shape alone. That's it. But it doesn't look. They don't look identical. You know what I mean? Like my Cyclops doesn't look like my Bucky. It's just it's a Buck body, but you have to understand that it's a plain Buck body. So they can add things and take away things. The Predator is a Buck body, but it's pretty much the same armor. Covers the left chest, small armor on the left shoulder, big armor on the right. Like it's pretty much the same shit. Like, and they just paint the armor and say this one's a Guardian, this is a Lost Tribe, or whatever. This one right here.
But that just, it makes sense. I don't know like what the contentious part of it is, but it just makes sense when this is an alien race of creatures who are all the same alien race, who have all, have the same general like upbringing, let's say, like a warring tribe, they have the same technology. It's like saying that you can't have two different human characters come with the same pistol.
No, I'm just saying, so it doesn't bore you. It doesn't bore you however many lines in that you're buying the same.
It depends how big of a fan of the franchise are too. If you as a fan of the franchise can appreciate the differences between the Predators, even though to anyone else they might be so similar, then that makes sense. It's the same with like, my girlfriend sees that I have Mezco Batman, and she sees that I have the two Mezco Batmans, the Dark Knight Returns and the Batman v Superman. They're the same fucking Batman to her. There's no difference to her. It's pretty much what you're saying about these Predators, is that like I don't really know all that much about Predator. I don't care all that much about Predator, so they all look the same Predator to me.
But it's, even with that, when you make that point, I don't disagree with her. It's still Batman. I know the differences between them because I like Batman.
Right, and I know the difference between the Predators because I like Predator.
But here's the thing though, if DC Collectibles was to take the Arkham Knight Batman and constantly repaint it, I would not keep rebuying it.
They did that a couple of times.
With what?
They did the battle damage version, they did a regular version, and they did the detective version.
I bought the two. I bought the battle damage version. I got the regular version. Then when you start giving me shit like, hey, we're gonna do the like that blue colored one. First of all, why is Batman blue when everything in the room is blue? Only because he's looking through the fucking lenses.
So I don't even know why third person, the whole camera, it filters out the entire image.
That's what I'm talking about. Where the cop out comes in, man. You're just trying to get me to buy some shit. Like you're just trying to.
It literally explains what you just asked.
What I'm saying is that
like
you're trying to play
Predators or
the play to my appeal of the character. What I'm saying.
Movie.
I'm just saying that at a certain point in time, you're trying to play to the appeal of the character. You don't have to do anything differently because it's kind of set up in a loop.
Well, so the Kenner, I'm not an expert at this or anything, but the Kenner versions of those, like Predators and stuff, those aren't those generally have sculpt differences on them?
Yeah, some of them have new parts on them, but a lot of the time it is the same body mold. Even if, and this is a legitimate criticism, and I totally understand this. And when they reuse the Predator body, they're always going to have the sculpted netting inside of them. But the Kenner Predators,
don't they all have the netting anyway?
They all have the netting, but the Kenner Predators, to make it look like they don't, they just paint over the skin tone.
Oh, okay. So some of them, they have the netting sculpted in, but they're not actually.
All of the netting sculpted in, but sometimes they're painted as if they didn't, but obviously it's still sculpted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Black on them, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, because I figured if it's a film thing, I assume that in the film they're all wearing the same thing. They usually try to be somewhat accurate, right? So
Well, they all have netting in the films, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But when they reuse the body molds for the Kenner Predators, they don't.
That aren't supposed to have netting. This netting is still there. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But the netting is always there, whether they paint it or not. If it's not painted, it's basically just meant to imply that it's a straight skin tone with no netting.
I see.
I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I knew you was gonna take up for it anyway, so I was waiting for that to come. But
This is just classic Pharaoh Black. I make the same argument back towards him, and somehow it's not the same thing.
it's no, I'm not saying it's not the same thing. I understand the whole thing with a buck body. All I'm simply saying is this. You cannot deny that if what's the most classic body that NECA uses for Predator? What's like that one core body they always use, like the Temple Guard or whatever else?
Well, there's three. There's the AVP body. There's the
not AVP, the basic one.
Probably the P1.
Okay, let's use the P1. Now with the P1 versus you said Bucky Cap body. We're gonna just make this quick. The Bucky Cap body. My whole point to the whole thing is that when you take a Bucky Cap body, it's a straight, smooth mold. It has muscles and everything, but there's nothing distinguishing about that stands out from that mold until they make it stand out, though. I mean, they add harnesses or they might add paint apps, and it looks like a different figure. But
sometimes it's just straight up paint apps.
Right. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just straight up paint apps. Now,
like I'm thinking, the most basic Bucky Cap figure I can think of is Machine Man.
Okay, but you have to understand this. All I'm saying is Machine Man, when you take Machine Man, I'm pretty sure all of us know who he is and we've seen it. When you take Machine Man and you stand Machine Man up next to like someone like Hawkeye, they don't look the same though. You know what you're looking at. Of course, we know it's the same buck. I'm not saying that, but I don't look at that and say that Machine Man looks like Hawkeye. Or
because
you know
of
what I mean?
the color, the different parts. You mean because like it has a different head, it has that belt piece and that stuff. Is that why?
Right.
And he has the armor. He has the rubber armor that goes over too.
Because he has a smooth mold. You know what I mean? It's nothing really sculpted to the mold.
It does. There's nothing about it that makes it completely distinct. Like like your Predator, or what you're saying with the Predator body. It's distinct.
I'm drawn when I see the Predators. Not saying that they're not even cool figures, because they are. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you start giving me the Temple Guard, or that's why I don't know. I keep coming back to Temple Guard, but when you start giving me these different Predators, and it's like they're exactly the same. Maybe the mask might vary, but for the most part, they're the same exact figure, and you're just repainting the armor or maybe the skin tone. And it starts after a while, and it's this.
Predator.
How many predators? I don't know. How many predators are? How many Predator figures are there?
They're about to hit 100.
100. So now we do not have 100 Marvel Legends with a Bucky Cap body.
But we also don't have 100 Predators on that same body.
No, but I can guarantee you got like 50.
I
probably more than 50.
Let me look at the list here.
Like. I mean,
like I said, there's the three basic bodies, and then they reuse them depending on which Predator best suits that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the Concrete Jungle Predator was on the AVP body, but back when that game existed, AVP had not been out yet. So they just kind of reverse engineered that body to it because it made the most sense. It was a big fucking Predator.
But you know what? The thing about it is that that Concrete Jungle Predator was so distinct from some of the other Predators I bought it. And if it is, and if that armor is used with some other Predators, certain Predators I just don't need to have because it's like they look so much alike. It's like I'm just buying the same Predator.
Yeah, you don't need to buy all the Predators. It's for the Predator fans. I mean, the line is huge because the Predator fanship is pretty big itself. But if you're just a fan of the movies, that's fine. But the comics have been going on basically since the movies have been off, you know, or since the second movie. Actually, even since after the first movie, Dark Horse has been doing the comic books forever. And the Predator in the first issue of Dark Horse Comics Predator looks exactly like the Jungle Hunter.
Okay.
Predator 1.
That's cool. I mean, I think
it's not far-fetched. I'm just saying it's not far-fetched to think that these alien warriors, these alien hunters from outer space who, you know, basically have the same life. They grow up as hunters and gatherers and, you know whatever it may be. It's not far-fetched to think that they would have the same armor and technology in the same way that humans have similar art styles in whatever we do in our architecture, fashion, whatever.
I'm not saying that. That's common sense. It's the same way it's like a military. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the military in America for the most part, they have the same type of armor. I mean, gear or whatever else. I'm not saying that. And if it's a cultural thing, I'm pretty sure if it's working, they're not pretty much tampering with it. It's being passed down. People are they're using it over and over again. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about to the effect of you buying an action figure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to make logic out of the reason why they have the armors. What I'm saying is like what, like I don't know, like when they added the articulation to the body, it gave me a new reason. Like, okay, well maybe I can replace some of these older ones with some of these newer ones or whatever. But I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like as far as like buying shit, I can see where the Alien line, in my opinion, is a better value.
Well, I
let's
guess
put it like
ultimately, then, I mean, if they're still selling, I guess why not, right?
right, yeah, most definitely.
Fine,
Why
right?
not? You're right about that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I understand the frustration of having to buy what is essentially the same figure in different colors, but you know, to me, it just makes sense because the way the movie was made, they reuse suits across movies, and that's to create basically uniformity among like a single alien race. That, you know, they're slightly different, certainly, but overall, they have the same physiology, the same anatomy, the same body
I
part.
think it's a lack of creativity, man. That's just me.
Well, blame that
I
on the
understand
filmmakers or
how
the people who created
whoever. I
Predator
don't
in
care
general.
whoever, Fabio. Like, quit being. You sound like you mad right now.
No,
man.
no, I understand what you're
Calm
saying, but
down.
like
That's
the justification, like it makes sense. I'm not trying to like apologize for anybody. It just like that's the fact. Like they reuse suits in the movie. These are all supposed to be the same alien race. They have similar weapons and armor. Some of them are different, certainly, but it just
I don't know.
it makes sense. These
If
are
you happy with taking your $24 and buying the same exact figure, like literally. Now I'm not talking about a buck. Everybody knows a buck is where it's
I
at.
mean, I look at Ahab Predator and Ghost Predator, and I see two different predators. Even though they're physiologically the same, they look like different characters to me. These two that I'm pointing at right here.
Okay, hold on. I didn't even see you brought anything up or whatever.
Screen share right now. I'm bringing it in closer.
Okay. I'm looking at these predators. Some of okay, these newer ones down at the bottom. I got all of these newer ones. The newer ones look nice. See the diversity is there. Some they have like even with the Scarface Predator and then the Battle Damaged Celtic Predator, they're pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same figure. But
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see. I mean,
you don't have a million. You don't have a million of the Predators yet with that armor on.
because this is their newest body mold.
Right. And that's cool for right now. But I mean, when you start going back up and you start getting to go up some more, like when you start going up to these older Predators and you just start looking at this, like right here, when you go to this row where he's clear, like look at this. Like, come on, man. I'm not gonna keep buying that same Predator 3 in a row, man.
Well, this is the beginning of the Predator line when they were more towards. This was during Predators. So during Predators, they were doing various versions of the classic version of, you know, the P1 Hunter. This is the first time they did the P1 Jungle Hunter, because originally they'd done the classic Predator, the one that shows up in Predators.
Right.
So that was this one. And then they adapted this mold to become the Predator 1 Predator. Obviously, you know, to get their money's worth, they had to do the exclusive and the Toys R Us exclusive. And then moving into the Lost Tribe, which is from here on, yeah, they're all on the City Hunter body except for the Elder, who's on the Jungle Hunter body. But that just makes sense because everything else was leftover suits that they just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had a bunch of fucking Predators on screen at once? That's basically what that was born out of. And the easiest and cheapest way to do that was just to create or make multiple copies of the same suit. Different masks, certainly. Including this one, the Guardian Predator. This is the prototype mask they didn't use for Predator 1, which is what this Gort Predator is.
Goes back to what I said originally. I just don't see the value in it.
I mean, the value is to have the Predators that were on screen. So if that's what you want, then you need this Lost Tribe. If not, like if you only want the single Predators, then wait for the Ultimates, the Ultimate Jungle and City Hunter, which actually City Hunter just came out. And that's on the new body mold, so that's even better. You can actually see the double jointed elbows and the diaphragm here.
Yeah, it's the same one as the one they just released. I got that in the box.
It's the same as this one right here. These two, I should say. Spiketail and Stalker. These are on the new City Hunter body. Actually, I'm lying. This is on the Jungle Hunter body.
That one is.
These two are Jungle Hunter. This one's City Hunter. But I look at them the same way as you would a Bucky Cat mold. Like, yeah, you can tell it's a Bucky Cat mold, but you know it's a different character. And that's because I am a fan of the franchise and I can spot those differences. However subtle they may be, I
understand what you're saying. I just don't agree. I just don't agree with it, especially with your analogy to the Bucky Cat mode. I just don't agree with it.
Well, I
Like,
could
I
use
just,
any
you
body
know,
mold. How about the Masters of the Universe body mold, the one that they use for Thundercats and also use for Dark Knight Returns Batman and Superman from that, you know, the Walmart line.
okay, let's put it like this. If look at it this way, if they would have took the He-Man mold, and instead of them giving Batman boots, and they would have painted those He-Man boots black and said they were Batman boots, you essentially would have what they're doing with these damn Predators.
I'm not 100% sure I agree with that.
That's pretty much what it is. We're not going to change
But it
much.
makes sense. Like, what I'm saying is that it makes sense for them to have the same armor. A lot of them come from the same tribes.
I heard you, man. You don't have to keep saying that like a million times, man. I got that point. I heard you, and I did disagree with the fact of what you're saying, because I mean, I know they have clans and everything. I understand that. I agree. Like, okay, I see why. I'm just saying that.
They're already, here's the one you can be mad at. They're going to reuse this body. They're going to use this armor actually when they come out with the next Dark Horse Predators. This is going to be the the Shonday Predator. This is the one that, you know, teams up with the chick in the Alien vs. Predator comics. As soon as I saw this armor, I'm like, oh shit, that's the Shonday Predator from Alien vs. Predator. But either way, I'm happy that it looks cool, you know, in this bronze.
You know what? Let's do it like this. If they pop that head off of that figure, let's say they pop that head off of that figure, and they keep you, like you said, you're gonna keep you that body or whatever, and that armor with a different head on it. In my opinion, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to start seeing a different character. After a while, it's okay. But
I mean, the armor color is going to be different. The fucking skin tone is going to be different. They're going to look different enough next to each other, despite the fact that they have the same armor. I mean, really, this all just comes down to personal preference. I mean, I enjoy the uniformity, but also the slight differences between the Predators. They look good on a shelf together. You can clearly tell.
I buy a lot of figures who have the same, like you take Mega Man. I love Mega Man, and at certain points in time, Mega Man color doesn't. I mean, his color changes, but his suit doesn't. So I understand, like, depending on what he's doing, it might just be a color change. But after a while, they change his armor. Or after a while, that's what I'm saying. After a while,
for once,
that's my opinion, man. I mean, I just told you. I started off telling you what it is. You didn't agree. I mean, that's cool, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm saying.
I still love you, baby. You know.
I just think the alien lines are better value.
Yeah, I done got all the way off the fucking topic of us talking about the fucking.
Right.
Look, this is just an example. This is a video game Predator right here. Yeah, it's using the AVP body, but it's still different. Look at this fucking mask. Come on. It looks badass. He's got a fucking serpent face.
All right, fuck that shit.
So all I really need to do is buy six basic molds and then just keep on popping heads off and swapping them.
We was talking about the Twitter shit and like some of the comments in the Twitter. That's what we was around to.
All right. I'll get back to it. Anyway, I think going back to this petition, yeah, a lot of what people are saying on Twitter is basically like, you know, you guys are making it racial out of nothing. Like NECA doesn't pick their figures based on race, and that's fine. But I think the real argument we're trying to make here is to pursue those licenses. You know, go for some stuff that is universally loved, like Beverly Hills Cop or Bad Boys, just to name two examples. Go for something that's universally loved like that, and kind of capture that audience. You know, you can do the exact same thing you've been doing with your other licenses, but you can probably go deep with these as well.
Well, I mean, it's just about asking though too. It's not some of the comments that I read, because I don't really be on the A.C.B.A. Twitter like that, honestly. But I went and looked at the thread, and it was like I don't know, man. It seemed like
they were like, they reminded me a lot of Tommy Lauren. Do you guys know Tommy Lauren? Black people are protesting. There's no problem with black people. Like, there's no problem with how police are treating black people, and it's just an unfortunate thing to take.
The air of some of the comments, or like one person in particular was like a closet racist calling somebody else a racist and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like the points that he was making was and trying to make it. It was not really like. Oh man, it's not really. It's a racial thing. It's a cultural thing, sure, but we not. That's not really the main talking point. It's just about diversity and just trying to ask about those lines or ask about those characters' likeness. Of course, every character's not gonna. Every actor's not gonna lend their likeness, but you could ask. You know, it's worth a shot. It's worth.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot, basically. You know, especially considering some of the things that Randy has pursued for his own personal, you know, appreciation. It's
Like
you know,
Planet of the Apes, for example, which I love, but obviously nobody else did.
and I seen the point about them doing mostly non-human characters, which is cool. That's fine. I see
Fair
that's
point.
the bread and
I
butter,
think
and
another
that's
fair
fine.
point that is really worth addressing is licensing. Licensing is just such a pain in the ass that even if they do get like certain movie licenses, that doesn't mean they have all the actors within. Like they can get Apollo Creed for Rocky because that character and that likeness they got it through the studio through MGM or whoever licensed that. That's like included with the license. But for Predator, they have to personally like Fox doesn't own the likenesses, so they can't go to Fox. And as soon as they have the Predator license from Fox, that gives them free reign to do the human likenesses. They have to actually get permission from each actor, and not everybody wants to do it. They had to court Arnold, for a long time. I mean, same with Sigourney and Aliens. And even though that line is, since it's kind of the second most successful line at this point, it is getting the traction that other actors are seeing what's been done and want to be in on it. But I don't know if it's the same for Predator because, as we've seen, they just mostly make Predators.
But I heard it. I heard that he didn't even ask for certain licenses.
No, they
I don't know
asked,
what
they
I
asked the
think I read
entire
it on
team for
Twitter.
the 25th anniversary. The wave that we got Dutch, the first time we got Dutch, that was right before that was when they were asking Arnold, they were asking Weathers, they were asking Ventura. They were trying to gather as much body mass as possible for that line, but nobody wanted to do it but Arnold. Like they,
I don't know.
it's unfair to say that they didn't even talk to him or whatever. Like they did try. They base all these things around the
I said
25th,
I heard.
30th
I didn't say
anniversary,
that
or whatever.
I didn't
And
say
then
that
for this 30th anniversary, they tried again, and it was a no-go. That I mean, Weathers. A lot of people were talking about. I think I posted my custom or something. Somebody posted a Weathers custom from Predator, and they tagged Weathers in it, and they're like, "Oh man, Weathers, see, people want to see you as an action figure from Predator." And he's like, he ats NECA, and he's like, "All right, well, let's talk." And then people followed up on that months later, a year later, nothing came of it. It's
Probably just wants too much money.
It probably does, yeah.
Yeah, probably just wants too much. The problem, the thing is, a lot of these guys, they don't really deal with action figures. So, it's something that's not really. I mean, obviously, Arnold being a huge action star, he has this stuff. He's dealt with this type of thing throughout his career. Guys wanting to make action figures of his characters on the screen. But for a lot of other actors, maybe they're only in one action movie, two action movie. They may never get, and they're not the main character. They're just like a side character. So probably for a lot of them, either they feel like this is they think toys is a ridiculous thing and they don't want to deal with it, or it's just not something that they feel comfortable in. So it could be a lot of it too.
I guess. I mean, like I said, I don't actually know exactly what's going on with the licenses. All I'm saying is that I know for a fact though he's never approached Will Smith and said, "Hey, we want to do a Fresh Prince figure." Something like that. I know that's not
a sitcom. That's an unfair comparison. They're not going to go after any sitcom.
I mean, whatever, man. Damn, I'm just saying, like, it's just certain properties I know for a fact that he hasn't approached. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not because of because it's Fresh Prince and we don't want to touch Fresh Prince, but it's just because they don't really touch TV in general, let alone sitcoms.
You make it out to be that. That's not what I said. I said that I know for a fact that there's certain properties that he has not reached out to. That's what I said.
But what I'm saying is that I don't
like a certain actor, not like a show.
A sitcom is what I'm saying. That's just not in their wheelhouse, whether it's beloved or not.
Actor, just so much as like, just whatever. Like they keep talking about Beverly Hills Cops. Okay, fine. Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, whatever. I'm pretty sure he's never reached out to Eddie Murphy and asked could he make an Axel Foley. I'm pretty sure
I think a lot of it comes down to, especially with those old properties, stuff like Beverly Hills Cop, something like maybe like Fresh Prince. I think probably making action figures from those properties is not difficult. I think it's getting the likeness from the actors is the difficult thing. and how
You
much.
you might be 100% correct, but what I'm saying is I'm pretty sure he's never asked.
Well, I mean, Randy, I just don't. Do you think that he'd be the type of guy who would like that kind of stuff? He seems like more like the, you know,
Right.
likes, the type of stuff that he does figures for, like Weird Al and those Insane Clan Posse and stuff like that. That type of stuff is the type of stuff that he likes, I assume.
You hit one of the particular nails right on the head. It's this is the type of stuff that he likes.
Yeah. Well,
And
he's the one with the company at the end of the day.
Right, most definitely. But you would think that even if you have someone, okay, if you have a diverse range of people that that buy figures. Period.
Have you talked to Randy before?
Me personally, have I talked to Randy? Only I've talked to him only on Twitter. I've talked to him before on Twitter.
Very opinionated guy. This is the guy where I asked also, what about like, and we're not even talking about anything about anything to do with multiracial thing. Let's just say like when someone asked him, hey, how about the new RoboCop? What, that piece of shit movie? That's pretty much what he said to the guy in the interview.
Right. But I'm saying that's kind of, I mean, what you said about it being his company, that's 100% correct. And nobody can do nothing about it. It's his company. I'm just saying it doesn't change the fact though that's like
no, it doesn't.
Like that's kind of shitty. Like, goddamn, I know you don't like it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's people at Hasbro that don't give a fuck about certain Marvel in general. But they still want to put that shit out because it's going to make some money. People want it. It's going to make them some money.
I don't think Randy thinks about making money. I think he thinks about what he likes and what he likes that can make money. If I had to tell you, if you were to ask me, I've had conversations with Randy, and that's basically the feeling that I get. He's a nostalgic whore. He is big on what he's nostalgic about. He doesn't care about, I mean, I'm sure, obviously certain things like Twilight and stuff, he did that stuff because that stuff made money. That's probably why he did it. That's how he saw it. But then I think because it had a wide, mainstream appeal. But I think for like other stuff, the nostalgic properties in particular, I think that stuff, he likes that stuff. And it just happens that stuff, like something like Terminator, like Predator, like Alien, that stuff makes money for him. That stuff, it's proven. I mean, there is a strong following for that stuff. People will buy anything. There are guys who buy it. It's like, Star Wars people, they buy everything. Star Wars is considered, you have 10 different companies, they all have the license doing similar stuff and people are still buying it. The Star Wars stuff. Predator, Alien, RoboCop, Terminator, they have those type of fans as well where those guys buy everything. So that's what he likes. It just happens that's what he likes. It doesn't change the fact, you're right. It doesn't change the fact. There is a lack of, different types of non-white characters in the line, in his toy lines. But, again, I just don't know if he actually likes any of that stuff.
That makes, that makes sense. Like, I mean, the whole thing like with Terminator 3 and, certain shit, why you just don't see certain properties. I mean, that makes sense. It's like if he doesn't like them, dude.
But you got to consider all the stuff that he probably still doesn't like that the company just had to make because of licensing. Like, they make a deal with a studio for one thing, and the studio says, all right, but you got to make this other thing. That's why we got those damn Twilight figures and fucking Divergent. Like, you can't say Divergent was going to, they picked it up because they thought it was going to be a profitable thing. Nobody fucking watched Divergent. I think there's supposed to be like 4 movies of that, and I think they're only making it to 3, and that's it.
I watched every one of them.
You did? Or they? I don't think they're good, dude. Honestly, I don't care for.
I mean, they're not. I mean,
is it confirmed that Divergent was because of a licensing agreement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I don't follow it like that. I didn't know that was he did Divergent figures because he was obligated to do so.
Right. I believe it might have been some sort of, compromise he had to make with the studios so that they would let him make something else, And it's the same thing with the Valerian line that's coming out, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, which is one of the new licenses they're unveiling. And it's based on this old, 60s, 70s French comic book that a lot of people say was the inspiration for Star Wars. And it's, it's got his own cult following. That's great. But the movie itself just straight up looks like the next Twilight, Maze Runner, Divergent, teen novel adaptation thing. It doesn't look, I hope it's good because I like the cast. I love Dane DeHaan. I think he's starting to get to the point where his acting career is really getting to to a point that he deserves. He's a really good actor. He's a talented performer, and I want to see him getting these bigger franchises and become a bigger star. You know, he's got the makings of a young Leo DiCaprio, in my opinion. So I want to see him succeed. But this Valerian film, you see the trailers, and it straight up looks like, you know, your next Divergent. It doesn't look like it's going to be all that stellar, even though it has all this pedigree behind it. So in my opinion, that might be something that they had to get saddled with from the studio in order to make something else. I can't say that like Randy wanted to make Valerian, like he's been campaigning for Valerian ever since it happened. I do see that with Blade Runner though, and I think that he took the Blade Runner 2049 license because he knew it could be a good backdoor into classic Blade Runner.
No, no one can deny that. That's obviously true.
Right.
A Blade Runner is one of those notorious licenses where it's not hard to get the Blade Runner license per se, but again, it's all those actors. It's getting like, again, there were no merchandising agreements and contracts back in the day. They didn't think about selling toys and stuff.
Right.
No one was as smart as George Lucas back then.
I'm glad you brought that point up because that's exactly why they didn't get the light. That's why Rocky has licenses built in through the license itself for Rocky, and because they did the action figure line for it back then.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Alien, they have to go individually to the actors to get that.
Because no one ever thought, hey, we're going to do action figures of Alien. At least no one would ever want figures of the actual people. They would just want toys of the alien.
Right.
I mean, that's cool. It's the same way I think with RoboCop, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like Peter Weller under that damn mask.
And that's why they don't want to. I mean, they have a Weller unmasked RoboCop sculpted, but they don't have his actual like likeness license.
Yeah, he's apparently very expensive.
But they have done it. Aaron Williams will corroborate this.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have. They're not allowed to release it. They want to release it. It's not that they don't want to. In fact, people ask him all the time, hey, are you guys going to do an ultimate RoboCop? And they're like, listen, the only way we would do an ultimate RoboCop is if we had the alternate Weller head, and he doesn't want us to release it, so we can't.
Okay. Now,
a lot of it's probably just the price because, you know, Hot Toys has done his stuff before. So
yes,
a likeness, people have released his stuff. It's just probably, again, coming to the agreement of the price, which in the end, it's just all about money. So
I mean, and Hot Toys, if you ask me, probably have a lot of money to throw around.
These days, they have a lot of support because they're known as the premier likeness, you know, action figures and stuff like that. So that's probably, I mean, in the beginning, obviously not, but then in these past, since they got Star Wars and everything, they're a big name. So
right.
I think in time, I mean, that was pretty big too, as far as this type of movie nostalgia action figures go. I think in time, the RoboCop thing will probably happen. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
So
I mean, Sigourney Weaver happened, and that was at one time almost considered an impossible thing too for them. So,
and just to kind of bring this back and let's wrap it up in a nice bow and move on. Fuck, I totally just lost it. I understand what you're saying, Pharaoh, about at least like asking about these licenses or like trying to pursue them, because like I said earlier, in the era that NECA likes to deal in, like their nostalgia like center is that like early 80s, mid 80s, 80s into like 90s. That was the explosion of Black culture. That was when Black culture became popular culture. So it's like I said, it's a noticeable absence when you don't have something as big as like Beverly Hills Cop, for example, Coming to America. Eddie Murphy, as Tyler said, did rule the box office in the 80s. He was one of the biggest stars of the 80s. I mean, I'd even take Arsenio Hall too, from Coming to America. So I would like them to go after these licenses. I'm agreeing with you, Pharaoh. But yeah, there's a lot of shit to consider when it comes to licensing, likenesses. It's all separate entities.
My thing is this: I don't care if they don't get the licenses. If they don't get them, they just don't get them. My back to my original statement or my original thought is that at least go after it. Something. If you don't get it, you just don't get it. Like you just said, they try to get Carl Weathers or whatever. Carl Weathers doesn't want to play ball. At least they tried. Like, so but when I sit back and I see him make Weird Al figures, like you make Weird Al figures, man. Go after. I mean, come on, give us something else. Ain't nobody's running to the store running to buy Weird Al. I just don't see it happening.
All right. Anyone else got any final thoughts on this? Pancho, you've been here for a while.
Yeah, I've been here for a while. Rick and I were talking about it earlier, and I think the perfect thing to bookend this is, I mean, just because we're asking for more people of color in figure form doesn't mean that we're trying to take any importance away from other characters they could potentially be making. We just want more of, great characters that we grew up with in like the 80s and like the 80s through the 90s and stuff like that. But, just because we're asking for more figures of people of color doesn't mean that we want less of other figures. It's not like we're not. It's not like we're saying like, "Hey, I'm really tired of you guys making all these characters like all these white guys. I don't want to see any more white guys anymore." It's not that in the slightest.
Right.
We just want more
Nobody's
representation.
saying too many whites,
Yeah, to go back to what Boog said, like it's great to like go and see a figure of somebody that looks like you. Period. Like it's cool. So we just want more. We just want every aspect of that, like you said, Fabio, like that boom of action movies and that boom of like all these great films. We just want everybody possibly represented, just because more figures would be great. Period. That's the bottom line. It's not about taking importance away from anybody. It's just about getting more figures that we want out of more great properties and more great characters for more great movies and films.
Well said. Nobody's going to top that. Let's move on. Since we have the itinerary now, let's actually talk about the Mezco 112 Toy Fair reveals. This was at their pre Toy Fair press event. They had a live stream going on Facebook for like an hour and a half or something. Just panning back and forth of all the products. But these are the official promotional images that they've released of some of the new reveals. So we got Popeye, we got the plaid shirt zombie from Dawn of the Dead. We got Netflix Daredevil. We got this Iron Man, which I've got some words about. Flyboy Zombie, Dawn of the Dead. This Doctor Strange. We got Ash from Evil Dead 2. Got Wonder Woman. I don't know if this is specifically Batman v Superman Wonder Woman or if it's the Wonder Woman, like movie Wonder Woman. She looks good.
I think it's just the movie Wonder Woman because the shield looks a lot different.
Yeah, okay. And then we have this Ascending Knight Batman, which we can talk about. I think that's one of the ones that we sort of predicted, like Mezco, if they ever do a classic Batman, it's going to be sick. But this is what they've shown us, so I don't know. And then we got this Wolverine here. I'm going to go actually find, the images. But what do we think of these so far?
I think the Popeye is really nice. Wolverine, I think those shorts and those boots got to go. But I think it's still a better effort than the sideshow. I don't know. I wasn't super excited about a lot of this shit. But it was, I don't know. They weren't like bad character choices. I think the Doctor Strange looks pretty nice. Who else did they show?
Oh, just real quick, worth noting. Also announced, but no items shown yet. Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got this Wolverine here. You can see a better look at it here. I mean, these are the prototypes, so I imagine it'll look a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, I definitely see the issue that some people have with the look of this Wolverine. He's got Spanx on, guys.
I think that those boots and shit, they just gotta, I don't know, they gotta change those up. I don't really know why they gave them fucking pants. Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. Like it looks like he's going to the gym, but at the same time he has one of those boots.
They're gonna come out with another version of him. Probably the yellow.
Like that Joker they're showing, I don't like that either, man. That suit looks, I don't know.
It used to have an overcoat too, so I guess they did away with that. Probably give it on another version or something.
That Joker looks dopier than he looked before. To be fair, I'm personally amped for that Popeye.
Yeah, me too.
I'll get to him.
That Harley's bad. Though. I don't care. I just don't like that. Wonder Woman looks kind of bad too. Her head's fucking big.
Arms a little skinny, I think.
I think she's just too skinny in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go get out for you.
Well, the chick that I'm about to say the chick that playing.
The face looks good though. The Green Arrow, that's hitting now.
Yeah, I got that.
Soon. Boog, I should be receiving that soon, right? Right. It's Flash.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
They
You know-
have
you know what
changed
I
it a
think it
little bit
is?
since last time they shown it. The
You know what
suit
I
does look a little
think
bit
it is
better.
with these like unibody like suit guys? It's like there's not enough definition to warrant like this kind of stuff. I think the best example is like the Deadpool. They're doing a Deadpool, right? Or is that
Yeah,
some-
Yeah.
it looks pretty bad too.
He looks like he's wearing pajamas, kind of. His head, the sculpt on his head is so detailed, and the way it's sculpted looks like the material of his mask is sculpted too in that Deadpool. But then you get to the rest of his bodysuit, and it's actual fabric, but it doesn't like match up. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's got like a
Personally, to me.
leather on the black, and then
Yeah,
this
it's
green.
odd. It literally
Right.
looks like they're wearing pajamas.
Well, you know the biggest thing I've noticing about a lot of like, find a picture of the Deathstroke. But
Okay.
because the Deathstroke figure, I was looking at it, and it has the like cargo material pants or whatever. But the one thing he's missing is a cup. He has no bottom half armor besides his shin.
Okay,
He has
yeah,
no
I'm
knee
seeing it.
pads,
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got
and
it.
it makes it look very big at the top.
I mean, it doesn't look unproportional.
I mean, he just looks. I don't know. It looks very. I don't know. It's just huge. And I know what they're going for. They're going, but they're like they took some liberties there, and he has no thigh armor whatsoever. He's covered like it's almost like when Boog made a comment about the Taskmaster figure about the arms, the legs being armored, but his whole entire chest and everything.
Yeah.
Like so, I mean,
Yeah, I can't see getting a lot of movement out of this guy.
Here's the one that's a really big point of contention for people. This Batman.
Yeah, I can see a lot of contesting about that. But even with the Batman though, you know, like even though he has one like unibody suit, like at least they switched it up. Like there's piping and stuff in his design. So it looks like there's a lot going on, and there's enough to differentiate each piece of like his limbs. I guess I don't know. It's hard to articulate what I'm trying to say, but like the difference between that Batman that you're showing right now and the Flash is stunning. The Flash literally looks like a doll. Like
Right.
I know technically, you know,
I mean, even Superman.
yeah,
no,
like
Superman looks nice.
like yeah, because Superman has like there's the break with the belt, and then like the whatever you call it, the underwear. I don't know what the fuck.
I mean, I think this Shazam looks great.
Well, you know, also it has to do with the way they position the clothing, because
could be, yeah.
I mean, they're not. I mean, it's their shit, so they should know what they're doing. But a lot of it's just like they're just not positioned correctly. But that Flash, that actual suit, that's just bad. That one, I don't care how you position those clothes or whatever else, it's just bad. And it might have been a little better if they would have brought the belt in close.
Yeah.
The
If they
belt
would have
been
like
I believe this is still the prototype. This is the same prototype they've been showing for a while.
okay. I feel like if they would have airbrushed at least some definition. Somebody did a really great custom of that Dark Knight Mezco Batman where they airbrushed like some muscle definition in it and stuff like that. And that looked fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good
But
call.
you know where you run into the problem with that is that when you start to like move it around,
Oh yeah,
and
moving, yeah. You fuck
Right,
it up,
you start
exactly.
having-
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to match up with the musculature every time if that's the case.
But like you take Shazam, I think they work really well on the bigger books.
Yeah, so
That's
the
why-
Shazam looks good.
I think that's why the Punisher looked good like from the top up, because the bigger book he actually like fits into the clothing a little better.
Mhm.
Even like a Space Ghost there, even though he's not the most huge buck, but I mean he fits in. Superman, he fits in better.
I mean, there's definitely like a lot of definition in the chest area, you know.
Yeah, I like the Space Ghost and the Superman. I think the Superman look works well as well. But let me look at this Deadpool again. Something about this fucking
Here, I'm gonna
Deadpool.
find an
That
individual.
Deadpool. Hey, Pancho, you didn't lie. That Deadpool looks like fucking. Go to the Spider-Man. That
Here, let me
Deadpool.
just get Deadpool for him first.
Okay. Look at that.
He just looks dumb. I mean, I have no other way to say it. I think he just looks stupid.
I
He look-
agree with you. You know what? I don't understand why they didn't go with. They can't have the license for the movie, but they should have went with a more leather look for him.
Yeah, I could see that. Like his clothes look loose
like Pharaoh.
on him. He looks like just like a tube of a dude. He looks like he has no muscles under that suit at all. It looks like it's too big.
He's a cosplayer. That's exactly what he looks like.
The Daredevil, I think the Daredevil looks good too. Like
I don't know, man. It's like he has on a motorcycle jacket and then some leather pants.
well, that's to the fault of the whole costume design period. I would say, but
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean like I'm not caught up on Daredevil. So is that the suit from the Netflix show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Season 2, I think this is the season 2 suit.
Okay, so like adapting that suit to this scale and on this type of style of figure like Mezco, I think they did a relatively good job.
I think that
style would have been the black suit, like his prototype suit or whatever. You know, with the ninja.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna release. I'm pretty sure at some point in time you probably end up getting a prototype suit.
Yeah,
it'd probably be a bit more like an SDCC.
Honestly, you could probably make your own with that Punisher.
But you know what's crazy is look at the suit right here. I think that if like those pads for the abs and for the chest, if they'd actually use some type of soft foam to actually make that stick out like the actual suit does, I think it'd look a lot better.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I'm gonna find something that somebody in the chat asked about, but want to see Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's going to be a fail.
See, I like the Spider-Man personally.
I think it looks good.
But are you really going to get an articulation on this damn thing?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like when it comes to these figures specifically for me, I kind of use them for like hero shots, not like something super agile or something. Like I have the armored Batman from Batman versus Superman. And I would use him for something where I want like a really, if I want to like stick a light behind him and get like a heavy silhouette and just something where I can have like really focus on the details and something where I could have a uniform body in a shot or in a video, I would use that. But if I really want to get him moving around and like doing some crazy agile shit, I would get the Mafex one.
Yeah, but when you buy those figures, you realize it's a couple different things. Okay, you're spending $80 on that figure.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, if you buy the Spider-Man, I do understand what you're saying. Like, you could just have him in the group shot or kind of maybe on one knee or something. But in my opinion, when I buy Spider-Man, if I can't do Spider-Man, I don't even want him.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
I
don't know. It's every other character stands up constantly, and it's not a big thing. But Spider-Man,
yeah, I think the biggest novelty for me with these figures specifically is having a 12 scale line with like full soft goods type of deal. I think that's the biggest novelty for me personally, because so many other toy companies do it and they look like shit because the fabric they use is like normal scale fabric and like all the seams just look like garbage. But like these guys actually, they look good. Like the soft goods on these guys look good. And
this is Dr. Strange.
Well, Strange, you know what? My problem with Strange is just two things. One, he doesn't have wire in the cape. I don't think the cape is actually big enough either, but he still looks decent. But I think that the actual top piece should have been more flared out at the bottom, so it would be a bit wider from up under the belt. You know what I mean? It would give the belt a more tight look. He looks like a Slim Daddy right there.
I saw Craig Warwick talking about his Tron pants, and this is actually the first time I've paid attention to that. But
that ain't a bad idea though.
I think it kind of breaks up the visual.
He has no leggings.
Doesn't make it look so plain.
Yeah,
a little bit more interesting to look at.
And I think that's what the biggest fault of the Deadpool is because his suit is literally some faux leather fabric with red fabric. That's it. If they would have textured it somehow or made it look busy or something, it just looks so plain. It literally looks like a cosplayer. You said it best, Pharaoh. It looks like some dude spent an hour and a half with a sewing machine and literally this looks like the shit Tobey Maguire probably would have done if he was Deadpool and he popped into the ring with Bonesaw. This would be the costume.
Right. You mean the first Deadpool suit in the movie?
Yeah, exactly. Like that looks like an in between one of the Deadpool scenes in that montage. One of the Deadpool suits in that montage.
Well, they put like the Daredevil suit. They pulled that off pretty nicely. I thought they did the Daredevil like really well.
Yeah, if they'd done the red on Deadpool with this sort of material right here that's on Daredevil, it probably would have been better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking maybe they're specifically going for like the comic book look, and like it's just straight spandex in the comic book, but they don't want to. I think maybe there could be something where they don't want it to get confused with the movie, because maybe they have plans for the movie, and they don't want to release a figure that's too close.
Oh my God, who is he? Go to the Ghostbusters. That ain't Winston. They look like old James. Who the fuck is dude? Oh my God! Hey, I'm gonna say that dude was just asking me for some change at Family Dollar.
Man, these zippers are fucking huge too.
Yeah, they're enormous.
So, it's probably a better way to achieve that, right?
Yeah.
Oh
What did you have to say about the Iron Man, Fabio? You don't like
man,
it?
I think it looks good, man. I'm
Okay.
actually pretty happy with this Iron Man. I like how they kept the classic look, but made it a little bit busier and gave it some more detailing to like bring it into that 21st century, but still with that 70s style suit.
Is that gonna?
The rings around the armor, or on the shoulders, and the little ball things right here. What the fuck these discs are?
Those are fucking power. Those are his power converters for the backup power, ain't it?
Is it?
Could very well be.
If I'm mistaken, that's what those were. They held power.
Oh, I don't remember, but I just remember fucking Iron Man always had just discs on his waist for some reason.
And you know what? But that thing has to light up. If the eyes and the chest doesn't light up,
Yeah, they're really they're missing the mark on that one.
No, the eyes definitely won't light up, and that should be consistent with the 70s suit. But I really wish that this lights up the center.
If they can make
still
this
pending final approval, so we'll see.
This Darkseid's eyes like light up. So
Yeah,
they should be able to make at least his arc reactor light up.
that dark side looks nice.
He
Even
looks great.
though that
face
version of him is done.
Look at this fucking face.
That's that constipated.
That's like the sleeper hit of those comedy shots.
That's
right there.
That's dark side when he drunk. He approached that chick like.
I mean, if they can fit, the electronics for Darkseid's head in his head, there's no reason that they couldn't do it for Iron Man. Even
Well,
if
they did it with the Batman.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Yeah, all of Batman's shit's in his head too. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
And his head is small.
Right, smaller than Darkseid for sure.
Yeah, way smaller.
This is
what's that? James Kirk looking all players and shit. Like, yeah.
I mean, they got the posing on this one, right?
Sure did.
Come here, Green Tea.
Yeah, if he had that, this is like one of the weird uniforms. I think there's another version of this where he has the the strap that goes around here. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. But the new reveal from Star Trek was Bones McCoy, which I'm super pumped about. Where is he at? Where is he at? Bones McCoy.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be like Matt Early, and his face looks like
doesn't
it's not fully rendered. Textures haven't popped.
Polygons.
That's a figure wearing a mask of another figure.
Yeah.
This is if Michael Myers used a DeForest Kelly mask instead of William Shatner.
That's the Michael Myers mask with the paint wall.
And that's crazy too. That I'm surprised that they haven't done characters like Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do if that. I'd lose probably faith in this.
I love the Big Bang Theory, man. I would have to
Big
buy.
Bang Theory.
Wow, that's crazy. It's so interesting to find people that like that show.
I own all the seasons, man. Popeye's awesome.
Yeah, that Popeye. Let's go ahead and shift on to greener pastures. This Popeye is nuts.
It's kind of
He's crazy. He's liver spotted and everything.
Shit.
Those big tumors in his arms.
I know, right? Those
Yeah.
are tumors.
I'm surprised you haven't realized this is not what a human's supposed to look like.
Yeah. I think this Popeye looks so good, man.
Yeah, man. Hopefully they make.
That'd be dumb.
Do you think this is any way influenced by Aaron Williams?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Popeye?
Remember he fixed their Batmobile? They're like, oh man, who was this guy that fixed our Batmobile? Let's check his Instagram. Oh,
You know what?
Popeye.
They at least had to find a medium between that movie and the actual comic, because it definitely looks a lot like I don't know, like some type of deformed human.
Yeah,
Like really,
Yeah,
it
he's
looked
not.
like
Go back to the Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, so I could talk shit about it because I mean, I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. It's different. It's different enough for me to buy it. But I mean, come on, that's their version of the first appearance. But I just I don't know. They
I
have
don't
to
know
do
about his
something.
first appearance, which is like year one.
is
That's
that
supposed.
really what this is supposed
That's
to be?
supposed to be. That's their take. That's their take on the first appearance. If
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
is like
mistaken.
Detective Comics Batman.
That's unbelievable.
You know, he's supposed to have the purple gloves and stuff. I mean, he's even supposed to have the underwear, but they sort of modernized this. So that's why I say it's more like a year one. It's more like if he had become Batman in like modern times rather than the 50s.
I get it. But if he was Batman in modern times, why are his ears still so long? I don't know.
Because he's still
Because they're gonna. I can guarantee you that you would have a purple glove version coming with this version.
Oh yeah,
Maybe not
that's
with,
gonna be a con exclusive, no question.
right. I can almost guarantee it.
with a less busy suit, you think, or you think they're going to keep this suit?
I mean, why not keep the suit?
Hmm. They could do that, and they could
I mean, 'cause the
save. They
suit's
could
not-
save like a less busy suit for
The
another
suit's not
comic.
that bad. I think that the way that they have everything positioned, like how it's all bunched up between the
Yeah.
belt and his crotch and shit. I mean, they just
Get him
didn't.
in a nice, you know, proud pose with his chest sticking out. I think he'll look badass.
Yeah, I don't know
And
why
he's
half
probably-
these guys are posed crouching. Like it's weird.
Because they think that's the heroic. I'm finna whoop your ass. Look.
Yeah, it's definitely not. No question. What's this Deadpool doing? He's running. Like, just give me
Is
the
he?
fuck out of here. Like that's what he looks like he's doing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Shazam. I didn't really want Shazam. Oh my god. Hey, like he's doing a running man.
Yeah, exactly. At night, I think of you. Of course. Jeez. But yeah, that Shazam looks nuts.
Good. I'll go to Red Skull, man. That Red Skull is looking nice. It looks better than what they showed at first.
The Red Skull? Yeah.
Yeah, because
They
the
don't have
first
the other-
Red Skull.
I'm surprised they didn't show both versions of him, but remember we're supposed to have a classic one too.
I don't know that suit jacket. Look at those big ass cuffs on his suit jacket, like it's a daddy coat or some shit.
I think he has a uniform on underneath. That's why.
Well, that'd be wild.
You know, he's got the
Yeah, I
whole
don't
like,
know.
uniform with the
I
fucking.
don't know, man. That's Amigo looking shit right there. Look how high his fucking holster is up under his. It's damn near under his fucking.
Yeah. Under his armpit, yeah.
That's
How
one
the
of
fuck
the
you gonna get to that gun on top?
you gotta really pose him right, man. Like the clothing itself is part of the posing now. That's something
Yeah,
you can consider.
That's the biggest thing I noticed when I was messing around with my Home Alone NECA figures, because they have the soft goods for their jackets too. Like getting soft goods right on 1/12 scale is so important because like it's really hard to pose these soft goods because like you said, like Fair, like you pointed out, like the holster on that Red Skull looks like it's, but I guarantee you that holster is in the right spot at like anatomically it's in the right spot, but just because the jacket is sewn to have those really big, and it needs to have room for his joints and stuff for movement. So the jacket has to be that big, but the way you pose it is fine. Somebody was just featured on the A.C.B.A. Instagram where they did it was a Home Alone shot with both of them flying through the air, and that one looked good just because of the way it was posed. Like his jacket didn't look too huge or anything like that. So I think it's just a matter of posing them correctly, like you said, Fabio.
You know what I think that a lot of these companies don't think about, like even with this Red Skull here. Now I'm pretty sure he's on a small book because he's just not that big. What they should have done was they should have used the shoulders. If you're gonna have it in a jacket, they probably should have used the shoulders from a bigger book. If they're not going to actually pad those shoulders, because people in jackets look from his neck down to the actual shoulder.
Yeah, it's
it
nuts.
goes like down at a slant, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was another picture of him. Maybe we could see it better from a different angle. No, that's about it. These guys, this is-
I don't know, man. At least they got the Punisher right. At least we have that figure to actually say, you know, maybe.
Let's move into these horror figures now too. We got Ash from Evil Dead 2. Whoops.
That's a waste of time. Dawn of the Dead. Oh, that was just a waste of time. The price point. I can't see. I couldn't spend more than $50 on Ash.
I probably
I mean,
won't get
he's
this one. I mean, I've got the entire, NECA Ash collection. Probably okay with that.
Yeah,
I don't think the likeness is 100% great either. I think the likeness is not quite there. Not exactly a dead ringer.
Definitely not down there at the regular head skull.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, it comes with the Henrietta and the severed hand too, so that's kind of cool.
I thought that was Eric Bana.
Jesus.
The zombies from Dawn of the Dead. I mean, they're cool. I guess this is a pretty beloved movie. I personally like the remake better, which is like sacrilege apparently.
If I'd have bought this, the Punisher would just been fucking them dudes up.
Yeah, if anything, I'd buy this figure to have just some jeans for my other guy.
That's actually a good point. Just any of these articles of clothing would be fucking great on other figures.
Yeah.
Even this one that's all bloody, he could just be a fucking. Well, I guess he is a dead body.
Somebody fucked up.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne after Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Or fuck it, take a Tide stick to this whole thing, and you got a fresh white shirt.
I think I don't know, like for these Walking Dead figures, not Walking Dead, Day of the Dead figures, I think you gotta look past. For me personally, I don't know if I'd buy them, but if I were to buy them, I would like I was saying earlier, I'd buy them for the potential of what I could do with the parts. You know?
Well, you can't take that shirt and those pants are connected together.
Oh, are they really? Fuck that.
Yeah, those are connected together.
Well, I mean, you could always detach them.
That's
how Fabio buys his clothes, with the tops and bottoms connected.
Yeah, I go in through a zipper on the back.
Just go in through the back. Velcro, back up against the wall to seal this shit together.
It's so annoying. I gotta get my girl to zip me up every single time.
God.
It should be the other way around.
I think that Superman looks short, personally.
I don't really think they've changed the body. I think that's the same body mold as the Punisher.
Probably.
Okay, yeah.
And
Well,
his neck is long.
So even neck here?
Yeah,
that's a long neck, man. He has like a Christopher Walken type vibe to him.
Yeah.
So, anyone else that we haven't heard from in the chat here want to chime in on these Mezco figures? Maybe not individually, just kind of give your overall thoughts. Boog, we know what you think. You're not a fan, really. I'm sure
Yes,
Boog
he
is.
is. He don't know.
So I'm not even gonna reply. I'm not even gonna give you
What do you think? Before we move on to another topic.
I've always been just whatever about most of these Mezco figures anyway. So, I mean, I think I can understand what they're trying to do, and they're trying to give that kind of high-end feeling. They just don't look like high-end figures to me.
Yeah,
I guess
you want to talk about
tailoring
high-end figures, but aren't high-end figures? Let's talk about the sister company, Mexco.
the fuck is
Oh,
this?
These guys right here.
Oh my God, seriously? Hey, let's see that flag.
Hang on, I gotta find who this is. C3HK. I don't even know what the
C3HK is the Hong Kong figure convention that's going on right now. Actually,
Okay. Do you know what these figures are called, Emiya?
I saw them in a lot of the live talks I had with people over the weekend, but I didn't really ask much about them. Are they even 112?
Yeah.
They're 112?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel bad with a 12-inch. Jesus.
To probably find out right now. It's not hard. I can just go to a C3 gallery.
Yeah, if you could do that in screen share, that'd be awesome. Really want to make fun of these for a little bit.
Pull them up real quick.
Let's see what people are talking about on these Mezcos. LL Cool Jew says Mezco's overhyped. He'll stick with a better looking figure. These come off as overpriced Barbies.
Wowee. Strong words.
Strong.
It's a strong word.
I'm pretty satisfied with this Iron Man. This looks really nice, man. I love just the piping and stuff on the suit and everything. And I get what we're.
Notice how you keep circling around his crotch.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of the. Look at this little detailing in there, man. That's intricate. Even his abs.
Okay. Emiya, you do 1/6 stuff though, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So because I think the reason these appeal to me is because I have not dived into 1/6 scale stuff yet, and I know if I went into 1/6 scale stuff, I would be I would know, yeah, like, well, not only financially screwed, but then I would know, like,
I mean, it's not even about that. I mean, okay, it is because I was spoiled by the 1/6 scale stuff. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, 1/6 scale is like,
I just think some of the stuff could be integrated better. Okay, you know what? Those don't look too bad. Those Star Trek figures, those look okay.
Yeah, these are
But
solid.
let's go to that Wolverine, for example. That Wolverine, right? I just think the outfit of it. Okay, you have like the gloves and the boots and the shorts. It's obviously meant to be kind of more detailed, like more textures and stuff like that. But then the bodysuit just looks out of place to me. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look right to me. It's too bright colored, and I guess also because it's 1/12 scale, and I know most of the guys in this community are 1/12 scale guys, but I just don't think the muscles show up enough. It's kind of like what you said earlier, how it would probably benefit with an airbrush or some kind of thing to make the muscles stand out more. The muscles just don't stand out enough to me, and I just think that if it was larger, maybe the body, or it could just be maybe their body they're using is too skinny, which I guess depending on what version of Wolverine you like, it is maybe a little too skinny. I think the head sculpt looks good. The head sculpt doesn't look too bad.
He looks like a scoutmaster with those shorts and those boots.
I'm not big on those laces in front of the boots. I think that's the thing that bothers me about it.
He like he's about to take you on a fucking on a nature hike.
You know, and those shorts, I just think it would just been better if he just had the underwear. I don't know why they tried to do the shorts. And I know people love this. I know some guys who actually really like this Wolverine, this Mezco one, and you know that's cool. You know, it's not it's just my own personal opinion, but I just think there's just certain aspects of just don't come together as well as, you know, maybe, you know, by the end, I think maybe it'd be an improvement if they got rid of the shorts, got rid of the laces in front of the boots, and maybe made the that yellow part of the suit a little more like a brownish orange color, kind of darker to kind of make it look, I don't know. I just think it just looks way too bright.
I don't know.
And then, I don't know, I think it's the same thing with a lot of, obviously certain figures like Punisher and Green Arrow, they're wearing kind of almost like tactical, kind of regular tactical clothing and gear. And I think almost like that's, in a way, that's almost kind of like cheating. You know, obviously Slade, he looks really good. But, like, and those zombies look really good. But then anyone who's wearing, like, a superhero costume just doesn't look, like you know, I don't think the light, maybe on that head, the likeness is not too bad. But the other head, I don't think the likeness of Ash is very good. I don't know. Maybe a bit better by the time it comes out. I mean, these are just prototypes, so.
So you think Captain Marvel looks bad, or should I say the Shazam looks bad?
I mean, they look better than, say, like the Flash, but I mean, they have a classic feel to it. I mean, I think the other thing is, the other problem I have, a lot of the stuff that's on their bodies, like, you know, like those symbols and stuff, they just look printed on. Like, it's okay if they're printed on, but I wish they were embossed a bit more, like they popped out a bit more to make it look more, I don't know.
Kind of like
I just
Superman
think that it just looks, maybe something more like that, maybe not quite like a piece of plastic, but maybe more texturing on it or something. That Superman looks kind of like, what that Superman reminds me of, the head sculpt of it and everything, it reminds me of the George Reeves Superman.
George Reeves.
Yeah, it looks like the George Reeves Superman, doesn't it? That's what it reminds me when I look at it. That's why I think of the George Reeves Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, for the classic, perfect example is the Dark Knight Returns. That figure looks really good, but because the source material of that Batman, he looks very simple. So I guess when it has that simple look, it looks really good. But then certain ones, you know, and I agree with Pharaoh. He needs something on his crotch just to kind of complete that armored look, for sure. You know.
Like,
they're not bad figures.
At night, man, you gotta cover the crotch.
The Batman just seems, the proportions just look odd to me. I don't think the figure itself looks terrible. And I mean, the texturing, you know, obviously you're trying to go for, you know, I mean, they're not bad. They're not terrible. I think maybe in a few years' time, after they learn more, they'll probably get better and better as they go on. So, you know.
yeah,
this is really only like year, not even 3.
Yeah, well, it's technically year 2. Let's just say year 2. I mean, because figures really just started popping out last year. So
yeah,
essentially, as far as releases go, they're pretty much more or less kind of like on year 1 still. Almost, if you count this as the Batman, the Dark Knight Returns, you count that one kind of as like almost like a pre-release, kind of like a teaser release of the line.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get slapped for having that fucking fall of 2017 tag on it when they haven't even done half of the shit they show.
That's true. A lot of them got delayed.
That shit ain't come down the fall.
I mean, even Popeye, they're going realistic. It's not even until 2018.
Christ Almighty.
The Popeye looks good. Like he's wearing regular clothes. He's wearing regular clothes. The two zombies look good too.
Hey, they doing Super Mario, Pancho.
Are they really?
No, I'm just fucking.
I was like, what the fuck?
112 Mario, sign me up. Better be from the movie.
Shit.
Yeah, like the Space Ghost looks good. I think just because again, when they're going for that classic, it
Look at
looks
Harley's legs.
the Harley. The big problem for me with the Harley, number one, is the likeness is not as good as SHF.
Look at her legs, though.
Right here.
Yeah,
Her legs are so small. Like, oh my god.
it's very skinny. Like it's the same body as that Wonder Woman.
She looks like a puppet.
Right.
Like literally, like she should have strings.
Yeah, that Harley definitely needs some work.
Yeah, this crotch piece, right, or this whatever this
You
waist.
gotta realize anyway. By the time they release that Harley, no one's gonna give a shit about Harley.
I literally want her just to go with my BVS Batman, and I didn't even fucking see this movie, honestly.
Yeah, you should get the SHF.
Right. Well, it's good.
Right.
It actually has a better likeness. The likeness on the SHF one's actually better.
Yeah,
How's the
it's
scale,
unreal.
That Joker looks like he walks like a penguin.
I think they scale relatively well.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe so. Yeah.
I mean, they are 1/12 scale. So
Yeah. I think that the SHF might be a little smaller, but that would work with her height. She's not a very tall character anyway.
Especially stand next to Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that's true.
the dark side looks
I'm definitely
really
excited about
stocky.
sure.
Not terrible, I guess.
Hey, that dark side, that's just crazy. He got that little skirt. His dick will be coming from under that skirt constantly. He can find that little skirt.
It's a tunic, bro.
I know, but it looks like, I know it's a tunic, but it's a skirt on him. I guarantee if he turns around, you can see the bottom of his ass under that damn thing, man.
That's if you're gonna have him posed, right? Bending over, picking up a
Skirt.
remote or something.
You said what?
You're gonna have him pose, bending over, picking up a remote.
No, not at all.
Is his top actually clothing or is it sculpt?
Yeah, it's actually
Okay,
material.
No, I can see it now. I couldn't tell from that angle.
Well, how are they able to define his fucking abs and pecs like that in
I
that
guess
figure?
he's
But
tighter.
nothing
He has a
else?
bigger body. He has
He
a
can
bigger
be
body.
tight. I would say the clothes can be tight on him because they virtually have no sleeves.
Okay,
So
that
you have
makes sense.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing really pulling at it. And the tunic is flared open at the bottom, so it just spins around on the torso more than likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that might be why that Batman, that Superman looks good too, because his sleeves are. It's not one uniform, like suit. Like his sleeves are sewed on at the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I think that helps it heavily. But I think they could have.
I'm buying that Superman most definitely.
It's like
You
a
are or
very
not?
Superman. It's like a very retro looking Superman.
This is a good. I like the Superman. I'm definitely gonna get this guy.
Definitely for the superhero ones, it's definitely one of the better ones for sure.
I think him and Shazam definitely look.
Yeah, Shazam looks pretty decent as well.
That's the big.
I wish they did a
Adam
Superman
also.
logo like this though. That big plastic piece on his chest doesn't really do it for me. I wish it were more like this.
Whoa.
Yeah, on
the
that
bigger
one
book-
doesn't look too bad, but when
better.
you look at like some of the other ones, it looks like when it's really obviously printed on, it doesn't look very good.
This one is embossed.
But
I
look
like
at
the way
oh my
Spider-Man
God.
stuff looks though. His emblem and his webbings on his suit, they're that perfect in between of embossed and printed on. I
Yeah.
think so.
I don't know, man. That
That's
looks jazzy.
Okay.
Look at his shoes. hey, look.
They gave him the Andrew Garfield.
He's got the Andrew Garfield shoes, exactly.
I
Oh
don't
my
mind.
God. He picked them bitches up right out of Walmart.
I made this point to the guy.
He's poor. What do you expect?
I made this point to the guy that I was arguing with. on
That's
Instagram.
bad. He got rich friends.
What I really like about these
best
Mezco
friend is
figures
rich,
is,
and Tony Stark is rich, but he's poor.
I think one of my favorite things about these figures is the fact that it's not necessarily like they're adapting a particular look from any one appearance that these guys have had. They're kind of
They're
doing
having fun
like
with it.
It's their own taste.
of look.
There's no denying that. It's definitely their own taste.
They don't have to like reverse engineer something to make it work in this medium. They kind of build it from the ground up in the medium. So it's almost like the designer series that you see for like DC collectibles, or they have the Greg Capullo or whoever else, Lee Bermejo. I don't like that stylized look of that particular artist or whatever, but you can tell it's like a designer figure. It's like designed after somebody's particular look of the figure or how they draw them. And I can say the same thing about Mezco. It's like this is how Mezco's designers have envisioned the suit to work within their medium, whoever suit it might be. Some of them are obviously more classic looking than others, and some of them are straight taken from the appearance that they're taken from, like Batman and Harley and fucking Ash and whatever. But Green Arrow, for example, you can't really point to a Green Arrow book and point out this costume. This is sort of like a pastiche of different looks throughout the years made to work in this more modern setting, which I'm cool with. So it kind of just makes the Mezco line like the Mezco designer line. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, but are you sure about Green Arrow?
I think it looks nice, man.
No,
He's got
saying,
wiring right here in his
sure
tunic.
never worn the book?
What's that?
Are you sure he's never worn that in the book?
Well, I can't say for sure, honestly.
You're right, you can't.
But
you're right, though, man.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Maybe that was a bad example, but you know what I'm saying.
It looks really nice, man. You're right, though. I mean, they take certain liberties, and it works out in certain cases, but in others, it just doesn't, like Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine is definitely the one I'm least, most lukewarm on, I should say.
Wolverine sucks.
That said, we'll probably what if we have a different version and it looks better? I'm counting on that.
You know what? I was speaking to Solid about that Wolverine. He was like, they probably did that design because they're going to end up doing a design that everybody wants with those shoulder pads and shit, the tiger stripe or whatever the case may be. But this particular design is fucking whack.
He's straight from the waist up. I don't have a problem with him from the waist up. From the waist down, though, I don't know.
Yeah,
those shorts over the fucking. That's just stupid. Like of all people they gave that to, they gave him to him.
Yeah,
like that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna wear a suit with shorts over the fucking spandex.
he definitely didn't need that. If the shorts alone wasn't there, it would be much better.
What if they didn't have the spandex there?
They had gone for something a little bit more like this.
Jesus.
He just had the shorts on and the motherfucking boots.
Could you imagine with Matt hairy legs and shit?
Hey, like he hiking like a hey, Wolverine. Oh my God, Canadian's best Wolverine.
Jesus,
that would make perfect sense. That's hilarious.
Like that motherfucker, like a mountie, like a motherfucker.
You can sort of see it in this picture, but the Bat in the Sun Wolverine suit is actually pretty good looking. I wish they
like that
would have
damn Wolverine. Man, what are you talking about?
You don't like the suit?
No, I'm saying none of these pictures look like the suit that Mansco did.
No, dude, what I'm saying is that they should have made it look a little bit more like this, and I would have liked it more.
I guess.
I totally forgot about
that.
If they'd done the pants a little bit more like this, it would have been better. Or it's just straight up just
Man,
pants.
what's you doing crotches, man?
I'm trying to find a fucking good picture.
Of his dick?
Yeah. Full hanging dong, man. That's so hard. This is Google. It should be like the first thing.
First thing, Wolverine dick.
Turn your search off.
The sideshow suit looks pretty good too, and that did go.
Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God. That shit looks like swear. That shit like 70s like a
But you know what? If Mezco did a suit like that, it would have looked 10 times better than that.
This is what I'm trying to point out. Is just if they'd done the leg.
He was like he made that suit out of a couple old ass suede coats or something.
I'll tell you what though, they're definitely going to give us another Wolverine. So this is just not the one to own. Basically, you just hold out for the next one. That's all.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying though. That suit is a little better and shit, but I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna do Street Fighter.
So he's got some like knee pads or
Mortal Kombat.
I don't think they need to, man. I don't think they even need to like play themselves and get into that market right now. I think they would be fine just keeping it where they are. They got a lot of stuff to cover that now that they have these licenses that they do have. They don't even need to.
But imagine how good those figures would look if they did them right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
you're
could see
not
a good
wrong, man.
looking Street
This
Fighter.
definitely plants seeds for what you think they're probably going to make next. I mean, they've got to continue making, an X-Men team. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Cyclops. Question is, what costume there too?
Yeah.
Then we get Professor X.
That'd be kind of cool.
How many of those guys are gonna have these shorts though? That's the real question.
Hey, all grab it.
Brian Singer wanted them to have leather suits. Mezco wants them to have.
Extra.
That's it.
Yeah,
Anyway, let's
just
try to get some
just wear
questions for
leggings.
Q&A now.
That'll be pretty funny.
Pancho, real quick, Charles Swearingen wants to know before he leaves, when's Scouter Vegeta supposed to be re-released?
Scouter Vegeta re-release? I'm not 100. I don't think there's a date on him. Hold on one
I think
second.
it's July.
Oh, you think? Okay.
July. It's July, and I think Nappa's in August.
Okay.
It's either June and July or July and August.
Hold on, I'm about to check.
Which basically means that if it's a US, it's essentially the
Yeah,
one.
add 2 months to that.
So yeah, a month, 2 months.
Let's see.
But this also means they will probably be at SDCC.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah, they'll be for sale early at SDCC. 100% it's going to be on sale early at SDCC. And they'll talk on all the summer conventions. Possibly even Anime Expo.
Where did you see that Vegeta was July? Or are you just speculating?
Just
July?
go to the Shonen Jump calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, the Shueisha calendar. That's where the news was first announced anyway.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last thing I remember seeing was the Xenoverse characters
Shueisha
of March.
calendar, that's where they were announced. That's where people got the dates. I mean, we knew the figures were coming, but that's when they were actually announced.
Okay, cool.
So
That makes sense. So yeah, July and August. Keep your eyes peeled.
So one quick thing that people really liked about, I think, the last show that we did.
yeah, and
Bump segment.
just to confirm, and it is July in Japan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were we saying, Fab?
A lot of people liked the live bump segment that we did a few weeks ago. Last time we had a show,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
talk about some people's pictures. So I'm just kind of scroll through the page here. Stop me if you see anything you like that you might want to comment on. Anybody? While we go ahead and get some Q&A questions at the same time.
Yeah, go ahead and pop your questions in and whatnot while we're doing this. I guess while everybody's doing their questions, I'll talk about what I got since I came in a little late. I didn't really get much this week except, just kidding. I got I got the Yamaguchi Revoltech Spider-Man and the
Oh fuck! I gotta pay Darius for that still. I just remembered.
wow. And I got the Red Power Suit Mega Man and the Cutman 2-pack.
Where did you get it?
Big Bad Toy Store.
What they charge you, like $1.50?
No, it was like almost. I think it was like $129 there.
Damn.
Oh, that's close enough. Shit.
Yeah, I heavily fucked up and missed the pre-order on imports. But you better believe.
What's releasing just the Cutman?
What's up? What are you saying?
What'd you say, Pharaoh?
I said, what's the odds of them releasing just the Cutman?
Oh, I don't
Like
know.
later on down the line.
I'm not 100% sure because I'm not very familiar with the Sentinel line and what their business practices are. But I don't know. I haven't seen any of these because there's another exclusive pack that came with the two different power-up armors where where Rockman was red as well, and I haven't seen any plans of them being released separately. I think it would be ridiculous for them not to release Cutman, separately down the line. Because nickel and diming your fan base for a fucking Robot Master, where they're forcing you to buy like a Rockman from not even the same game as Cutman, is kind of stupid.
Right. I didn't want to order that 2-pack. I didn't want the other powered Mega Man at all.
That Power Mega Man is to be fair, I don't really mess with any of the powered up suits of Mega Man or any of his item 1 or 2s, but like that one is probably my favorite. It's my favorite because it's the most distinctly different out of all the power item ones he has. Like he has the fucking like the rockets and the wings and shit like that. So I was like, if there's anything he was paired up with, at least he was paired up with that. And I don't mind getting that one. But that Cutman is phenomenal. Like
I bet it is, man. I really wanted that.
It looks really good, and I mean, all they had to do was sculpt a head. He's on the same body as Rockman, so
Okay.
which makes
Yeah.
me wish that more like Robot Masters were like that. But it makes sense why Cutman was the first one because he's the closest character design to Rockman and Mega Man.
And he's, you know, they always played him up too. Like I don't know about in Japan, but I know over here they always played Cutman up.
Yeah, like he's from the first game. Essentially, I think the biggest thing is because everybody went to. I think inherently everybody goes to Cutman first when they play Mega Man 1.
You know what? You're not lying.
Yeah, I think because if I remember correctly, he's the first Robot Master that you fight to get the power up to like go down the chain of power ups that affect other Robot Masters. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I played one, but everybody I've talked to, like, yo, who's the first Robot Master you fought, and who's the first level you went to? It's always Cutman, no matter what.
Well, if I could get Cutman, Gutman,
Gutsman,
Electman, and maybe Ice. Is it Iceman?
Yeah, it's Iceman.
Yeah, okay. If I could get those, I pretty much wouldn't even give a damn about getting any other ones.
Yeah, I like all the character designs from the first game. I think they're really great. I really like that Spider-Man. You got him too, right, Pharaoh?
Yeah.
I love him, man. I fucking love this figure. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
He was pretty decent, man. I at first when I had got it in and I didn't even open the box, man. I really was debating like I don't know what I want from actual figures, but I went ahead and when I got him open and everything, I said most definitely as far as posability goes, he's the Spider-Man to have, man.
Yeah, he's the most robust, man.
I think people are going to really appreciate him when Venom drops. A lot of people are going to be tight too because Venom's going to drop. There's going to be a lot of people that was turning up their nose or holding out or whatever the case may be, and fucking Spider-Man is going to skyrocket in price, so they're going to be tight.
It's going to be wild.
It's pretty decent, man. Like I mean, it sucks for Vanilla posing. I mean, I told the guy on Instagram the same thing. I said, as far as standing that figure up for Vanilla, man, you might as well grab a Legend. I was like, but have him doing Spider-Man shit.
Yep,
exactly. Whenever I pose this guy, my mind immediately goes to Marvel versus Capcom. Like whenever I think of like just shit I saw in Marvel versus Capcom, like this is the figure to have because he's so agile and like his body is moving in ways that you didn't even think the fucking human body could move. So yeah, like this is the figure to do it. Like I'm putting this,
and you think about just like Todd McFarlane days and shit, certain comic book artists and shit that really had Spider-Man in these crazy contorted ill poses, and you could pull all of those off, man. It's great.
I mean, that's the best thing for him. I mean, if you got that figure, you best to contort it because I mean, it's basic posing for it is really like wasting your money.
Yeah, it's asinine to even do that shit, basically. Yeah. But yeah, if you didn't get up on that, and you know what's the Deadpool figure was actually okay for vanilla posing. It actually looked a lot better and a lot more vanilla poses, the Deadpool figure. But even that figure had great, crazy posability too. So
yeah,
I'm excited for Venom, man.
I think the thing that lent the most to Deadpool in terms of being able to pose him vanilla was the way his suit was designed. It was a lot easier for the bulk of his suit to hide not the imperfections, but like the crazy Revoltech joints, just because of how busy his suit was. But Spider-Man is so slim and slender, there's almost nowhere to hide these joints to get the same capability.
Deadpool has a very big shoulder area, not the actual shoulders to the arms, but just the actual area that you plug them into for the torso and stuff. So when you pull those shoulders down to give him like a basic look, they fit next to the actual body. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole shoulder piece starts looking like one. You see that little ugly Revoltech joint, but for the most part, it's smoothed out.
Yeah,
you can't do that with Spider-Man. It looks like he has these giant metal cup arms or something at the top that makes it look really weird and shit.
Yeah,
but
definitely. It's so interesting because real quick, the last thing I'll say about it is I have a friend who's not into figures in the slightest, and I remember when the Revoltech Deadpool went up for pre-order, he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, where do you pre-order your figures? Because I really want this Deadpool because Deadpool's my favorite character." And I go, "Cool, you get him here. Just want to warn you, this is This is not a figure that you that you pose standing up, and that's it. You have to fuck with him. Period. Otherwise, you're just throwing $60 away plus shipping. And then he messaged me when I posted on my Instagram about the Spider-Man. And he messages me in what I imagine was this tone, like, I can't believe you spent money on that fucking Spider-Man because that Deadpool was shit. I canceled my pre-order for the Spider-Man because I got the Deadpool and he can't even stand up. What the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, I made a post on my wall that told people if you can't, I mean, because the figure basically comes with training wheels, man. I mean, it does everything itself. All you gotta do is grab it and ball it up in your hands, and it's already in a pose. Like, I mean, so like I told him, I said, you can't pose this figure, man. You need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down, like for real. I don't really get. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't even know why a lot of these dudes even collect action figures because the action part of it is just not there for them.
There you go. Quote of the year. Get a statue.
I don't know, man. I don't listen to those dudes, man. They come with that bullshit, man.
Yeah, like I mean, it's weird to be in this golden era of collecting and not wanting to really fuck around with the figures, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. I can remember when I was a kid looking at the figures that we had at that time in the 80s and 90s and really thinking to myself, damn, will figures ever actually be able to like do more shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the one thing that I was always thought about as a kid. So
yeah,
and
then
I think
time of my life.
and then
I don't think people
Bill
believe
said,
that, man.
look, it's real. It could happen.
I remember my what was it called, man? That this Secret Wars.
Yep.
I swear to Christ, man. Spider-Man had 5 points of articulation. I was so pissed. You want him to crawl on the wall, and it's just like he had to stick his arms and legs out in front of him. Like,
I was tight, but I still love the shit out of those figures.
oh, most definitely, man. I mean, most definitely. Same thing with the Superpowers collection for me. I was all in, man. Commercials sold me on so many damn figures, man. Remember they used to have actual dioramas on commercials too.
Yeah,
like, oh,
yep. That's the first A.C.B.A. really, if you want to keep it real.
so you know how it is, man.
Switching gears, somebody wants to know what we thought about Batman and the fact that Ben Affleck has dropped out of the director's chair. It's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, my favorite thing is there's an image floating around where it's Ben Affleck quoted saying, I'll only direct Batman if the script is good," and then Ben Affleck drops out of directing Batman.
I've seen that, but done in like the Always Sunny format, where it's exactly what you said, but they just do the Always Sunny font at the end of it.
Yeah, I think if anything, it's troubling to say the least.
It didn't bother me at all. I just think, I mean, I honestly think that Ben Affleck just know his script was probably subpar as well.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa, really? What makes you think that?
Yeah, I mean, you never know, man. I mean, it's not always cut and dry the way that we figured it to be. Like, he might have came up with his way to direct Batman, probably sucked. He's probably, man, fuck this. I'm not gonna go through this shit.
I would have thought that him writing the script would actually probably make a good Batman movie because the guy does.
Wow, because Ben Affleck movies are good.
Well, if you let me finish, I'll tell you. If you'd let me finish,
Argo was pretty good though.
I don't want to let you finish because you're gonna say some bullshit.
Well, the guy's known for doing really riveting crime dramas, and I think Batman could really work as a crime drama. I'm thinking about The Town and Argo, and
I think so too. But like we had that with Christopher Nolan's Batman already, though. I've always said like I'm in the very small minority where I like the Christopher Nolan films as films, but when it comes to Batman, I don't really think they do the character Batman a justice in terms of other stuff. But when it comes to crime dramas, fuck yeah, those are really great films. But is it a Batman movie? To me, no. I think it's a great fucking episode of Law and Order, but definitely not a Batman movie.
I'm not saying it has to be.
I would have to agree with you
either. But I'm saying, seeing him investigate a fucking mystery of some kind would be kind of interesting to see. And I don't think we've really truly seen that other than fucking Batman Forever, where Val Kilmer takes all of 5 minutes of screen time to figure out what the fucking Riddler's clue is.
Yeah, I will say that one of the best parts for me personally, in terms of like being fresh and stuff with Batman in Batman vs Superman, was seeing Bruce Wayne take on that detective role. Not necessarily detective, but you could say like a detective or a private eye or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But like them spending so much screen time in, hey, you guys remember that Batman is the world's greatest fucking detective? Yeah, but you forgot that, didn't you? So like I'm really happy that they did something like that. So in that aspect I could really enjoy it, in terms of like if he wrote something where he relied heavily on not just Batman as Batman being a strong figure in the movie, but Bruce Wayne as well, using his smarts in his head. Because in the Nolan films, Bruce Wayne was fucking nothing. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the biggest problem you're going to have with Batman in that aspect, as far as being a detective and everything, is that the merchandising around the film.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, I think.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I think when it comes to stuff like that, like, yeah, like exactly what you said, that it'll be hard to merchandise like a detective film or something like that. So like if you had an in between kind of like half and half or something like that, I don't know. It's tough to explain. I could see them
Probably
like
have to reference it. You probably have to show small references to him doing detective work. But if you actually spend time with him doing actual detective work, you're going to draw the movie out, and you're not going to have very many children that actually want to see.
Yeah, that's very true. I think they did it. If there's one thing Batman versus Superman did, it's they showcased Bruce Wayne being a good detective in the pursuit of finding out who the villain was. And that was a good way to introduce the villain and stuff like that. You learn about the villain through Bruce Wayne's eyes doing his detective work. And then that way you get the idea that Bruce Wayne is the world's greatest detective. And then once he finds out who the villain is, you can push all that detective stuff to the side, and then him emerge as Batman and just go, okay, cool, I'm ready to beat you up now.
But I thought, I thought that the way they portrayed him was a little dumb.
Okay.
I didn't like the fact that Lex stayed ahead of him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I mean, especially you realize money and resource wise, just in general. I mean, he's a smarter person than Lex in a lot of aspects. Not every aspect, but in a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And him having to be behind, him had to be behind Lex at finding the kryptonite and everything. I just thought that was kind of.
That's true. I think if there's one thing to say about that, and if there's any way to defend that, it's just keeping in mind that it's the early days where Lex wasn't even on his radar and kryptonite wasn't even on his radar. That would be a good excuse as to why he was not one step ahead, because he didn't know that the step was even there. But once he got to that point of learning who Lex was and then learning about kryptonite, then he got on the ball. And then,
but I mean, not to even discuss the movie further, but I mean, as far as you have an alien coming to the planet, things dropping into the Earth, you would think that he would at least raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would imagine that he would do a lot more than, hey man, this guy's no good. Which is basically all it did in the movie.
I don't know, man, but just to answer the question, I really don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, doesn't mean it's bad just because he's not directing it. Like I said, like he brought Fabio brought up, what you say, Argo. Like I didn't like Argo. You know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me. I don't really think I've seen a Ben Affleck movie that he directed that I really cared about. So it doesn't bother me personally. I mean, and what I say about Batman matters a whole lot more to this motherfucker. So,
is Ben Affleck even a fan of Batman? Like, does he give a shit about Batman?
He's a fan of Ben Affleck.
Yeah, it's like, do we even know?
He's actually a huge fan of Batman. Actually,
is he really?
Yeah, he's a super fan of Batman. In fact, he took the Daredevil job because he felt that he was never going to have the opportunity to be Batman.
Wow,
really? Batman is like his dream role. Yeah, he's a super Batman fan.
They dropped the ball with that too, with that damn Daredevil shit. Jesus.
Let's not bring back bad memories.
Right. I don't know.
All right. Well, since we're talking about Batman, somebody wants to know if we think Sonic Rockman actually wants to know if Mezco is going to make a Batman Beyond figure. That could work in their medium. What do we think?
I'm almost certain they were going to make Batman Beyond.
I would like to see a Batman Beyond but then again, it raises the question as how good would that suit look? Because that Batman Beyond suit is all pitch black, period. Except for
it has a gloss to it. That's what that white
that's true.
lines around the shoulders and everything represents the gloss.
Yeah.
So I would think that they would probably either do something that looks more like a patent leather material or like the Shadowland Daredevil.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, but
I would like that. I'm curious what body they would put it on. He's. I'm pretty sure they're going to make it though. I mean, I have my. I just can't. Okay. I'm pretty sure they're going to make it like that. Look out for it.
Boog, you there? Boog's gone.
He said peace.
So somebody had a question for him, but it's cool. We'll skip it for now.
Hamster Knight is asking, when will the SH Figure Arts Gohan release in the US? Probably next month, because he just came out in Japan. Within a month or two.
And then, does anyone have the 1,000 Toys 112 Synthetic Human?
Yeah.
You got it, Pharaoh?
Yes.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Honestly, I haven't even opened it. I want to find another one because I've got a scene I want to set up with some, some superheroes and some clones, or should I say some androids to mimic them and shit.
There we go.
So I actually I got big plans for that damn robot. We'll see. But I've seen Darius's review on it and everything, and I mean, shit, it looks pretty dope and shit. I mean, it looks pretty dope in the package too. I mean.
Open them up.
How much is that thing running? I was like sort of interested, but like
$60 something, 60 and change.
I'm always intrigued by figures that are really pushing the limits as far as articulation goes. But like with me, it's always about what can I do with it with other things and shit. So like,
I tried to get you to order that thing. Remember, I actually
You could just wait for them to do the other ones in 112. Because the one that's released right now is essentially just the body. There's no features or anything, but they actually have a lot of stuff planned and a lot of things coming.
I'd like to fuck around with it at the very least. Bring that shit next week, Emiya.
I can bring it with me. Yeah. It's pretty much exactly like the 112. I mean the 160 scale one. It's pretty much exactly like it, just smaller. It retains all the features and everything, all the, I mean, maybe the only issue a lot of people see with the figure is over time, people think it might get loose.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Emiya? When I got the invoice for Ami, I didn't know what the fuck that thing was.
Oh, you didn't remember?
That was crazy. Say what?
You didn't remember that you ordered it?
Hell no, I forgot. Because you realized the pre-order for that thing was so long ago.
No, that's true.
I was like, I see on the invoice. I said, what the fuck is this damn thing? So,
moving on, Sonic Rockman wants to know if Premium Cell will be at Toys R Us.
Probably.
Yeah, he's a regular release, correct?
No, he's a web shop, but they're all regular release in the States.
Okay.
And the Naruto, the setting mode one is technically a web shop exclusive too, and that's there. I don't think. As far as the U.S. is concerned, there is no differentiating between a web shop exclusive and a regular release as far as it is concerned as in Japan. Like, technically speaking, your Super Saiyan Vegeta is no different than your Super Saiyan 2, your Battle Damage Super Saiyan 2 Son Gohan, or Super Saiyan Son Gohan, because he has both, but they're both considered the same product.
Is the 2.0 Gohan? He's a web shop though, correct?
Yeah, he's web shop. Both him and Cell are both web shop.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as they're concerned here, they're regular releases, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's what
regular releases in
the States.
As in they'll get reprinted also, or no?
No, they won't get reprinted. I mean, they don't even reprint regular ones these days, pretty much. I mean, almost. I mean, sometimes they just do another version, like a different color or stuff like that. Everyone thinks that eventually they'll probably do a weathered version of both the Awakening Super Saiyan Son Goku and also the 2.0 Super Saiyan Son Gohan.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me.
So, I mean, that will be probably the way. They've already reissued the Awakening one, but at some point, I wouldn't be surprised that they do a weathered version as a special release or something. Sell it again.
Yeah,
Why not? So
indefinitely.
but I could definitely see the peak in Toys R Us for sure, as long as what's in there right now is doing well.
Yeah, I think I can see Toys R Us.
While we're talking about imports, do we think that SHF is going to do a Thor Ragnarok line?
Yes.
Oh, that's a very strong yes.
I don't see why they wouldn't. You know.
Yeah, I think there's actually quite a bit of Marvel stuff going to be happening in 2018. So
I hope it's better than fucking Avengers 2 fucking Thor.
oh yeah, it'll have the digital printing this time, Thor. For sure.
That Thor horrible.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. What about a Mezco Hawkeye? I mean, they could reuse the bow from Green Arrow. Wouldn't be that hard. And while we're at it, since they're kind of breaking into the horror thing, what about a Mezco Werewolf in London? American Werewolf in London, of course. Fun fact, I actually met Max Landis a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that. How was he?
Yeah, he's super nice. I mean,
Cool.
the guy's a very talented writer. The guy just fucking vomit drafts every single script that he writes. He writes fucking like 3 scripts a week or something. He's crazy. He maybe even more than that. And I guess the big statistic behind him is that he's actually sold 90 scripts by the time he was 30. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's what he said in a couple of interviews too.
So he was,
That's a good talking point, huh?
Hollywood, which is an improv theater, and they have a group of improvers that are like a couple of like former wrestlers and stuff too. Like the Lucha Underground champion Johnny Mundo is there like pretty much once a week or once a month. So I got to meet him after the show, and then Max is obviously a big wrestling fan. He did that Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, 30-minute YouTube show, whatever.
Phenomenal short. Yeah,
short. There we go. So he's a big wrestling fan. So we just got to talk to him a little bit after. We're like, listen, man, like we go to school here. We're fucking. We go to school here basically to learn writing. So you as a writer, we kind of admire you, whatever. He's like, yeah, man, thanks. And my friend, I told him that Max was going to be remaking American Werewolf in London. And my friend, brought that up to Max, and Max gave him like a big old hug. It was the cutest thing ever. So yeah, that was cool. I'm just logging into this game right here. I want to show you guys the costume selection in this, and I want to see what you guys think about getting any of these as figures. This is something I've streamed on my channel before, but this is weird.
what game is this?
This is Marvel Heroes. This is made by David Brevik and Gazillion Studios. David Brevik was the guy that did Diablo 1 and 2, so this game is basically Diablo 1 and 2, but with Marvel Heroes. I highly recommend it, Pancho, especially on PC. And it is coming to console, I think, later this year, too. So they just added Beast and Jubilee. Jubilee is one of like the team-up heroes or whatever.
Are you showing stuff right now because it's a widescreen?
Oh, damn it, is it? I think it's still loading. Give it a sec.
Okay.
It's a little bit delayed. Hang on. I wonder if I tab out, it'll show. Anyway, let me get some more questions going on here. Sonic Rockman wants to know if I've had any NECA break on me lately. The answer is no, I have not.
Consider yourself lucky.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought it up though, because I just had. This is huge. I had the biggest tragedy happen to me in my collecting life just earlier this week.
What happened?
Never experienced a bigger loss and a bigger sense of disappointment
Oh
than.
boy.
Here we go. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I commissioned a Michael Keaton head from Aaron Williams. So I sent him, one of the Keaton heads from the Batman. Then I sent it to him, and he actually sculpted the hair and repainted the face, and it was just Michael Keaton, as Bruce Wayne.
Nice.
He sent that to me. I had it here at the house. I was enjoying it. I was getting ready to take some photos because we actually took some casts of it, which we're going to be selling pretty soon. I believe on the A.C.B.A. web shop, so be on the lookout for that little sneak peek there. So I was going to make the announcement post or whatever, just showing off the head by itself or in a certain scene. Just to make the big announcement and let everyone know what's happening. And I came home one day and I noticed that Batman, who I've had here on my desk with the Bruce Wayne head, he was just on my desk and he had fallen over and the head was no longer on his neck. And it must have just rolled off my desk somewhere and it's basically gone forever. I have no idea what the fuck it is. It is pretty much disappeared.
Damn. Well, you can buy the cast. So
It's not the same, Pancho. It's not the same. God,
You can be our first customer.
Oh, it's not the same because the whole point is that I have like the prime original head sculpt, and every other jabroni out there has the fucking cast. Now
Well,
I'm
what do
just
you
like
think
every
it happened?
other
Like
jabroni out there.
rolled out of your door into the sewers and just floated down the river? What do you think?
Dude, I don't even know. I have hardwood floors. Like, there's no way I just like lost it. It just flat out disappeared. And
That's
I
what's
run simulations, I must say.
Run simulations.
I've run dramatic reenactments where I put different heads on this Batman and knock him over and see where the fucking head rolls.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I have a
There you
dog.
go. There's your answer.
That's my hypothesis, but I don't think he like ate it. I think he might have chewed it and then
Just throw it somewhere.
He does this with like little small things, whether it's like a pellet of his food or like a grape or whatever.
Or
When
like
he
a
has
hat.
something like a small kind of ball. He just like puts it in his mouth and throws it around and then goes like fetch it for himself. So I'm thinking
well,
he
there's
might have
your-
done that, but who the fuck knows where he threw it?
That's
I mean,
Hey,
worst
Emiya.
case scenario, yeah, he did eat it, but it's fucking plastic and paint and resin. Shout out. And I don't think he
Jesus.
would have really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I don't think it's much as that he ate it. It's just he fucked it up and threw it somewhere. So you'll find it when you move out.
Yep.
Sadly. Well,
That sucks.
is that not the most tragic thing you've ever heard?
That's rough, man.
My
It's
girlfriend was
probably
like, you know,
under
there's
the,
like children in Africa that are starving. No, this is worse.
Maybe to you.
probably under your detox.
No,
it could be.
it would be here, like at my desk. It would be here somewhere. And I don't know. It's straight up just like fell into a portal to another
It
dimension.
would be there. You would have found that shit. You don't know where it is.
That's true.
You're right.
But it would be here like somewhere. I mean, I've moved my desk. I've like rearranged the cables and everything. See if it like rolled off the desk and got wedged between the wall and some cables or something. It's the most tragic thing I've ever experienced.
You've led a pretty great life then, Fabio.
Pretty much.
That's
I'm sorry for your
That's
loss.
not the response I was trying to elicit. I need some goddamn pity here.
You're doing all right, bro.
Question for all of us. Moving on. What figure do you take with you as a daily fig just to have on hand anywhere?
No
Can you do
finger,
I'll
motherfucker.
say no, not one.
Yeah, no,
I'm lying. I do bring shit and have it like at work sometimes, oftentimes.
I've done that.
Like walk the streets. I don't know about that shit.
You see Boog on the train.
LL
playing with-
Cool J was saying he needs SHF Ant-Man on him, so I guess, you know, if inspiration strikes, why not have an
Okay.
Ant-Man with you?
I guess that makes sense. That's not too weird.
I think the
I brought
biggest
an
thing
action figure to
for
work too, but it was just because it was like bring your action figure to work day.
I think the biggest thing for us is that we focus so heavily on creating our own scenes with dioramas and stuff like that, that outdoor figure photography is not necessarily something we do a lot of. So the idea of bringing a figure with us where just in case doesn't really apply on
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense.
I bring Billy Harrington wherever I go.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Take it humble with him whenever I feel like.
You've got your figure, and he's in your heart as well.
Billy Harrington, wherever I go, he's
There you
always
go.
with me.
I know a lot of guys on Instagram who do a lot of outdoor figure photography, and I could see them like just having a figure in their car or some shit like that, which makes sense because they do outdoor figure photography. So
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I do quite a bit of outdoor stuff, and always bring Billy Harrington with me.
yeah, it's always Billy.
Always Billy wherever I go.
I would say a kind of a variant on that question is which figure do I find myself messing around with the most on my desk? And honestly, ever since those bodycoons came out, it's probably those. Like I'm always messing with those, just like practicing poses or doing like some sort of rough idea of some shit I want to do before I move it on to another
That makes
figure.
sense. I'm gonna bring those shits to work. Actually, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got those
I-
for my girlfriend. She likes to pose around with them.
Yeah, they're really great. My favorite thing about those is the Amazon reviews where people are pissed off because they thought they'd be a lot bigger because they bought them for anatomy for drawing.
Mm.
You sure they didn't buy him for something else?
A comic artist that had one of
Sure,
those.
you sure they didn't buy him for something else? Sure. Are you sure?
If you know.
For the other thing, for on the break when
There
you're
you go.
taking a break at work for relief. No,
Yeah. Why's your cart also have a Billy Harrington in it then, huh? Mm. All the pieces are coming together. But yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
Let's get
look
those
at a
last
lot of
questions
the
in.
1/6 body, like reviews on places like Amazon or whatever. Often guys some guys will buy them thinking that they're buying a sex doll.
I
Pretty
could see
common.
that.
It's actually pretty common. That's
could
why
see
you have
that,
to be very clear. This thing's only 12 inches tall. This thing's only or 6 inches or whatever. It's not the size of a real human.
How do you
Yeah.
make that mistake? How does
It
that
happens a
I
lot,
make that
man.
mistake, man. I remember when I sold one, a guy left me a negative feedback, said, "Not sex doll." That's it. That's it. That was the feedback. It was a negative feedback. Said, "Not sex doll." Rip off or something like
I hope
that.
it was all caps. Anyway, I finally got this thing to work, so I just want to show you guys
There you go.
something here.
No, sir. It was not a sex doll.
Anyway,
That Beta Ray build
what I've
back
got on
there.
screen right now, you guys, this is Marvel Heroes. This is the hero list. These are all the guys you can get. There's like, I don't know, like 50 heroes or something in this game. But what's really cool is that there's a fuck ton of costumes for each of them. So if we wanted to like break down, what's interesting too is that the character selection kind of follows a lot of the Legends releases. So I know for a fact these guys are working pretty closely with Marvel and the movie studios as well, because they've got all the movie costumes. Yeah, let me see. For example, Iron Man definitely has the most costumes.
Christ.
Yeah, they got all the movie costumes. They got some classics here and there. There's even ones that you can get that aren't even shown here.
Exclusives.
Yeah, bro. This is just like collecting things. I mean, it goes down from fucking Mark 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did y'all show that Mezco Iron Man? I don't know how I feel about that thing.
This is what I was saying, is that it basically looks like this, but brought into the 21st century, which I really like that. I mean, this one you could even see the Iron Man eyes underneath the mask. Oh, and someone did chime in earlier. They did confirm that the chest on that Iron Man's going to light up.
Great.
Yeah, I thought
And
it
the
did.
Mezco one?
Yes.
Really?
I mean, it might as well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
whatever
they
the
can
fuck
do
else
it.
is it going to
Put it
do?
in.
What else he gonna do, right? Yeah.
I mean,
I
it makes
bet
sense.
also pile of shit though. The mask is removable.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be dope.
I wish it would come with a different, or maybe like a faceplate that comes off or something. That'd
It'll
be
probably
cool.
be just a different head if they have a completely Tony Stark head with no helmet on.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll probably just be a totally different head. Otherwise, I think if you did a removable helmet, it'd make the helmet too big.
Right. No, but I just mean the faceplate.
Oh yeah, that
Face
would
plate,
like
yeah,
kind
sure.
of like just pop off the front. You mean?
Right.
Yeah, or slide it up. Maybe they put like a magnet on top and then
Something
slide
like
it.
that, yeah. Or maybe like the mask itself is magnetic, and behind the
Yeah.
actual face sculpt is the magnet.
Emiya,
What's up?
did you build Barbados Rex?
I did one for a friend. Yeah, I built one.
Did you do? You
I
did
believe
the
somebody asked
144?
about that.
I didn't do the 114. I don't know. It was 1144. It was the first one that came out. The 1144.
Oh, here we go.
How'd you like the build?
Pharaoh, do you
It's
think
not bad. I mean, it's just a
144
straight,
has long
pretty
arms?
straightforward.
Pharaoh,
Did you like it?
Not really. What's
What was
up,
wrong?
Fabio?
What did you not like about it? I'm just curious.
I don't like the
I had a
arm.
question for you about that exact thing. Do you think it has long arms?
Yes, I don't like the arms on it, and I don't like the stickers. I mean, I'm not a big fan of stickers anyway, but I definitely did not like.
Why don't I guess the problem is all the water slide decals. You pretty much have to buy them separately. So.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a better time with the 1/100.
Oh, the 1/100 is probably going to be very good.
Yeah, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the arms out for the Rex. I don't really like the Rex's arms at all.
Oh, okay. Have you seen it in action in the show?
No, I haven't. I actually stopped watching it for a little while.
Oh, you should go catch up and see it in action. Maybe you'll feel differently after you see it in action.
You probably, I mean, you've got a point. That might be the case. But looking at it, I'm like, yeah. I don't know. I'll see.
Do you do master grade at all, or just high grade and stuff like
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
I do. I just do the high grade and the Well, the 144, I mean the 100, they're still hybrids too, aren't?
Yeah, they're not specified, but yeah, essentially hybrid. Maybe a little bit better.
Oh,
I mean, the biggest thing.
Emiya,
No,
turn
it's
off your mic.
Boog.
Already turned it off.
Oh, hang on, it's Boog.
It's Boog.
I got him. You're good.
But I think that the biggest thing is that it's all about the scale and the amount of room I have for these things. Because the 1/44th scale will start accumulating fast. You look up, you have 1 million of those damn things. And
Yeah,
then
well, I mean, they're inexpensive too. So I mean, you can collect a lot of them very quick.
So, but I mean, my biggest thing is I like real grade.
Oh, just wait for the next real grade ones to come out. Eventually. Although real grade, they characters.
You said what?
Someone yeah. Okay.
It's Boog.
What I was saying was the real grade they mostly do the main character.
What happened?
You're just getting a lot. Echoing.
Am I? What? From what? I had my thing muted. It couldn't have been me.
Every time you mute it, you would stop.
Yeah, it's echoing. It's echoing up here.
Why is that?
We're gonna mute you again.
That's that Commodore 64. But yeah, I pretty much those I mess with, and the only 100 scales I really have is I got the Lupus and I got the the Vidar.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have a bunch of. Well, I have 2 Lupuses. I have the first Lupus and not the first Lupus, the first Barbados, and then I have the Lupus and then the Vidar. That's pretty much it. I was hoping they were going to do these
expensive ones. The high resolution model is really nice for the Barbados.
You know what? I was thinking about putting one of those together and throwing some lights in it or whatever.
Yeah, that one's a really nice kit. It's expensive, but it's essentially like a metal build that you put together, pretty much. Yeah.
Not to even dwell on it. Yeah, because I seen the Barbados. They had one at the shop.
And they're also doing doing a Wing Gundam Zero.
All right.
So yeah, that's the next one in the high resolution series.
Are they going to do a 100 scale Astaroth origin?
Probably at some point. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I've been waiting for that, man.
Probably at some point.
What else we got, Fabio?
I'm just cycling through all this shit. We're pretty much good on questions here. I don't think anybody else really has too much more.
Find us questions.
We didn't bring up none of the pictures and shit. If y'all want to discuss some pictures real quick.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Ooh.
Okay.
BT.DBS, is Mezco worth investing in? Man, if you heard our conversation earlier in the episode, probably say yes, but it's very pick and choosy. You might like some of the designs, you might not, but the line itself is pretty incredible, and it's only getting better. They're only in their not even second year, as we discussed. Oh man, let's talk about this picture right here.
John Connor.
Fucking gold bars.
And where's he at? He's at Burlington.
It's not the only one on the rack either. Check that out.
Right, so they all back.
Yo, this chick though, right behind him. She got a soul patch. What's going on there? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put up some pictures right now. We can do a little bump segment live.
So what's up, man?
What is happening with this echo?
That can't be me. It's Emiya. I bet you it's Emiya.
He's muted.
He's muted.
So why the fuck would I be echoing? All right, I'm gonna leave and come back.
Wait, no, it's gonna end the stream. It's gonna end the stream, bro.
No, it's not.
All right, guys. Next week. gotta mute his ass. Anyway, if there's any more questions, let's go ahead and get them in because we're bleeding into Walking Dead time right now.
I wonder when we're going to finally get these goddamn ninjas.
Well, there was one more delay that they showed us, like, I don't know, about a month ago now. Looks like it's probably going to be closer to March rather than, April rather than March.
Well, that's cool. I've been waiting all this time. I'm just wondering what's going on, man. Like, you know.
Let's talk about this photo right here. It's like Brandon Deichler finally got the Daredevil that Boog sent him. The one that was supposed to be sent to me first. But, you know,
we don't care about that, man. Let's just see the picture.
He's been waiting a long time for that. That was actually like part of his prizes from something.
Oh, okay.
So he just you know, I do that a lot, like with shit that we get that's like specifically allotted for the tournaments or whatever the case may be. Like usually people in the prize pool are pretty nice with each other, and they'll divvy up the shit according to what they may or may not have already. So or if it was like a money situation, then I'll let people you know, pick whatever they fucking want, basically. So he was like, yo, do you think I could get the Mezco Daredevil when they drops? And I was like, all right, cool, that's fine. So he had to wait a fucking long ass time because this was months ago, almost a year ago.
Yeah, that must have been like Photo Combat or something, then.
Right. So, but yeah, this is nice. This is layered, fucking really nice.
Let's check out the seaside. That's one of my favorite things about Brandon's pictures is definitely his backdrops.
Yeah,
they're just so cohesive, so nice, so clean.
Very nicely layered. You know, it's a lot to that, and it's a lot of time, energy, and patience that it takes for this one simple shot. You know, I mean, it's not even really simple, but I think that's one of the major misconceptions about this shit is that it's easy until you really get out there and try it and you realize like, wow, this shit takes a lot of patience. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot to this, man. Look at that. He's got to backlight the backdrop. He's got to light the front of the display. He's got his flight stands perfectly placed, and everything is just laid so nicely here. Nice lighting. I don't really like the way Chameleon looks. He looks like he ain't really doing shit over there, but
like he's finna sniff some coke.
Looks like trying to get those last few grains off that glass.
but,
right. God damn it! I'm touching the glass.
Like, fuck it, we getting fucked up. I'm gonna snort this last line. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, the details. Why you putting the arrow in his butt crack, man? What you doing?
Man, why do you guys always judge where I put the damn arrow?
That's crazy though that you always go into the crotch area.
I'm just like I'm basically like just looking
like,
at.
How's your arrow always drawn to the fucking?
Notice I'm doing it. Damn.
Oh my God, man! Don't get mad at us, motherfucker. Stop doing it.
I'm having a Freudian slip live on the air. Of course, I'm freaking out.
Look at the details, though. The little details with the hat on the coat rack and all that shit. Like, you know, it's just a very well put together, well thought out, well executed picture. And guess what? It's been up for 2 hours and it's only at 156. Just went up to 156. That's bullshit. You know.
Hey, I want to see Chameleon with that hat on.
It's like Walter White's hat.
I do. I want to see him put that hat on Chameleon.
But,
yeah, cut the bullshit, man. Give us what we really want.
Very nice picture there, though. If you want to look at that, just
here, watch me do some administrative shit live right now. This guy's asking about some buy, sell, trade stuff, so we're gonna have to.
What the fuck is wrong with Mike? I know Mike. I know him very well. Fuck is he doing?
Delete post.
He desperate for what he's looking for.
Oh my God. We A.C.B.A. admins are such assholes. We just silence our fucking group. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that,
hey, you know what? Go back to that Joker pick.
Yes,
I mean, not the.
Yeah,
with the Harley.
I know what you're gonna say because I'm gonna say the same shit. So go ahead.
I mean, because I'm gonna say I like the backdrop and everything, but that Joker and that Harley, man.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. I just.
Yeah,
I
they don't
just,
go together, but I mean, the picture itself is well done. This guy does good work.
Picture is definitely
nice.
nice.
Got a strap on the bag is sticking up and shit.
Yeah,
like,
that bugged me first before the Heath Ledger with Marco. That bugged me first. Like that's the first thing I noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, but if it wasn't the Heath Ledger Joker, man, he'd have had a winner because I mean, it's everything else is
yeah,
and that strap.
But I'm glad y'all pointed that out. But, that type of shit is really what A.C.B.A is about, man. That attention to detail. How the fuck is that strap sticking straight up like that? What type of starch